Is there something on your mind that's haunting you like a ghost? Am I the one that makes you cry or keeps you so high? There's no coming down. I lose myself when you're not around, like it's something real. I lose myself when you're not around, like it's something real. So everything was just a lie. I think it's haunting you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Risen Dominate. We are here with the quarterfinals for the spring season of 2024. My name is Drake. I'm joined by Quetzal. Quetzal, how are we feeling on this fine evening? About to watch some Dominate in Risen.
I am ready for some explosive actions. Get all the off-meta champions in there, and let's just go ham sandwich.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for some off meta stuff. Looking at these two teams that we are going to be watching here in the quarterfinals, it is going to be the two teams on the top of the bracket. Mint Gaming versus the Winning Formula. They have faced each other before. Winning Formula were also here in Risen and Dominate for the fall season. Obviously, the season before this. Um, so they've shown that they are a really good team. They were undefeated in the regular season during fall, but here they are struggling a little bit. I'll be honest. 4-4 in the regular season. Mint 6-2.
Mm.
So Mint are a little bit of the favorites here. But you were talking about a little bit of those unorthodox picks, and Mint definitely has those. Picking the Asol, picking the Hui, support, flexing Zach everywhere that they can look. I'm definitely excited to see some interesting stuff coming out from Mint.
All right, me too. I am expecting Inigo Montoya to be specific because first of all, that is just a classy name. Classy name. But according to my notes here, their KDA kind of fluctuates, but they have a very good potential to be a strong carry. So that's
Mm.
somebody to look out for in this game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I mean, we're looking at the draft right now. You guys can't see just yet, but a couple of players on Mint Gaming aren't from the regular roster, so we're not going to be seeing some of the normal stuff. Anthony isn't going to be their mid laner of this game. I believe Bots Maven isn't going to be their support either. So some interesting names coming out from Mint Gaming, and I think this is their first time being streamed on Risen as well. So
Oh.
a lot of new stuff coming out from Mint. We have no expectations whatsoever. We can't go in with any uh, pre-developed notions. This team is here to surprise us no matter what today.
I mean, it's like Skinnergy. The name is good. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I'm excited to get into the game, and hopefully sooner or later we can see the draft and see what we prioritize in these hopefully best of fives.
Yeah, should be a best of five, and metas have been changing a lot. I believe we are on current patch, so a lot of new stuff coming out. I don't know if you were watching LEC or LCK. A lot of interesting stuff going on. Lane swapping,
Absolutely.
ASOL being like super dominant, right? Obviously that stemmed from LCS originally. Gonna
My biggest worry has been, Skarner has been
mm,
changed completely, brand new champion, right?
hmm
And of course, when things like that happens, people come up with the wildest things. Yeah, they'll play him jungle. Yeah, they'll play him tank. I've heard of the Korean meta Skarner where he just starts exploding people. How they figured out the formula? I can never tell, but maybe one of these teams pop it out of nowhere and the other team doesn't have an answer.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see the Skarners that I've seen in my solo queue games in these games. That's for sure. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that these teams can bring out. I feel like the meta is super evolved at the moment. There's a lot of flex picks, a lot of stuff that can be played everywhere. Mint Gaming specifically has been playing Zac in multiple roles. They have a flex pick in the mid lane as well, Hui. They've been playing
Hmm.
Ziggs, Seraphine, like their own stuff basically. wherever they want it to be played, and also are decent at the meta. So I feel like this is an evolving team. Looking at their past games, like I said, we can't actually watch any of their past games, so who knows? We might see a very standard draft coming out from Mint Gaming. But the winning formula, they have a formula. They've stuck to it forever. They pick pretty standard 5v5 comps. Lee Sinner, obviously a Lee Sin player, and
Okay.
hasn't really fully adopted the play for your team mentality. Hasn't adopted the Rel, the Zach, the Sejuani just quite yet. I'm probably gonna be picking a little bit more of those carry champs like Vi, J4, Xin Zhao, some of that stuff. So
The
should get a
pointing
little bit
flicks, I love
dicey in
it.
the jungle. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those are the best ones. Well, I'm excited. I'm hoping Lee Sin plays Lee Sin. The Lee Sin rule. Every Q you hit, you have to take.
That's
There's
true.
no you cannot not hit the Q button after that. So I'm very excited to see those plays.
Mm.
Insects. Let's see. The flash Qs from Vi. The my favorite, the flag and drag flash, where he's over here. Next, you're just in the air and he appears out of nowhere because of a flash.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for all the little technical things here and there.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that hype coming out from Lee Sinners. And another player that we've seen, the winning formula is a team that we saw in the last season here in Dominate, but they only have two players from the last season, Lee Sinners and Quality Player. The rest of their roster is entirely new. So I do want to see some stuff coming out from Quality Player as well in that mid lane. I'm sure we will see some flashy stuff between these two teams. They've already played against each other. Like I said, they have a little bit of beef. Mint Gaming did 2-0 the winning formula in the regular season. As we do get here into draft, I'm excited to see what this first ban is going to be. Mint on that blue side. A lot of priority towards Zeri, Jinx, I feel like, in the current meta. Might be something that we see getting banned away.
We have 10 seconds. Let's see what they lock in. What is their priority here? And Viego, of course. Carry jungler, my favorite. Heartbroken, but he breaks your heart. Man is literally every champion in one, right?
Yeah, he is. And obviously, the winning formula, we forgot to mention, but do have a couple of lost bans here. Um, a changed name wasn't reported apparently, so they just
Mm.
lose. I think it's three bans, maybe all five. I think it is just going to be the first. Oh, first two. Okay. Sorry guys. It sounds like I'm just figuring this out in my head. We have production in our ears, but yeah, they just let us know that it is going to be the first two bans taken away from winning formula, and the first two bans going the way of Mint are going to be Viego and Zinzao. A lot of focus on that jungle.
They really don't want this jungler to be carrying in any sort of capacity whatsoever. I
Yep.
mean, he'll have a humongous list to choose from, but those are very good early game champions. So I'm hoping to see if they continue this trend or no, they take away the mid lane Ari, assassin right there.
Yeah, it makes sense. I feel like quality player kind of only really found success in this season on Ari. So betting that champion away will be really valuable for Mint Gaming. I'm curious to see what this first ban is. That Callista ban is going to go over as well. I feel like a lot of options here for Mint. Maybe just pick an ADC. They're going to lock in the Tom Kench, it looks like.
Oh,
Okay. Yet another flex. Honestly, these guys play at top and they play at support. So you have no idea what Mint is thinking here.
I mean, they could play jungle for all I know, but I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see him in the games. Very frustrating champion to play against always. He's a get out of danger free card, so we'll
Hmm.
see how he's being played. And the other side, the winning formula takes Volibear, my personal favorite. As a matter of fact, fun fact, my dog is named Volibear. It's just a it's just a cute name. But Volibear and Jinx, so that's always a good combo. Stun into lockdown, so we'll see if
Mm.
they can make that work. Tristana, that's gonna
Yeah.
be an interesting pick. Tom Ketch goes in, followed up by the Tristana. So this is looking to be very explosive. Jinx wants to shoot from afar, and Tom Ketch wants to make sure they get right on top of her.
Yeah, and obviously that's assuming that the Tristana doesn't go towards the mid lane. We don't know much
True.
about Mint's mid laner right now. It is a substitute player, so who knows? Maybe he's a Tristana one trick. I literally would not know at all. And they only had one band, so even if he was a one trick, they chose that Callista. They just didn't really have many options on the side of winning formula. This last pick does kind of tell it all. Sejuani probably going to be picked in that jungle role, I have to assume. Lucky Field is pretty proficient on the champion, found a lot of success on it so far.
I mean,
I feel
Sejuani's
like
a very strong. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, 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 go on. And Zach, another flex. I mean, these players are they know what's up.
I mean, they're picking champions that they feel are very consistent in the jungle. If we assume they go jungle, Sejuani, a powerful tank. very good for those melees to build up that stun. And Zac, long range engage, powerful tank as well, massive amounts of healing. So we're going to see which team bursts down their front line first, and then get to the priority picks in the back. So far, I'm just seeing two beefy walls for both teams to have to get through.
Yeah, and two carry champions to boot, right? Jinx and Tristana, both champions that are very good at carrying their team. Jenna is going to get banned away. A couple of like weird bans going on here. It might be just comfort picks that they're banning away. I feel like Jenna isn't super prevalent in the meta.
I mean, have you been hit by those bluebirds? They hurt.
I mean, they do, and Jenna's a monster if you're actually decent at the champion. Don't get me wrong. Especially when you have that denial of Sejuani and Tom Kench engaged, especially Tristana W as well. Like you have a lot of
Of course.
tools to deal with that for sure.
And then the other team, MYNT, have decided to band out Syndra, so they're keeping their focus in the mid lane, it seems here, taking away very good, trustworthy mid lanes, and then the winning formula bans Milio. I like to see that. New word champions being used and banned. They have their uses. I'm gonna assume that the winning formula has a comp they want to do, and Milio just ruins that for them.
I mean, speaking of new champions being picked and banned, I'm glad that Smolder is nowhere near this draft. Like the fact that this champion is no longer playable is so good. I really hated the fact that he was so strong with that passive. But it looks like Talia does get banned away. A lot of focus on the mid lane for MYNT here, trying to make sure that quality players hindered as much as humanly possible. That's 3 mid bans, 2 jungle bans. I mean, the core members of winning formula getting targeted so much in this ban phase.
I mean, that's a viable strategy. Making sure that you're forcing these laners onto champions they don't play as often. Hopefully, you can counter pick or you get on your comfort pick, and it doesn't matter what they play, you still perform. And of course, the infamous Lulu. Hopefully they don't play assassins because you're not gonna be able to do anything.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good read coming out from the winning formula to pick that Lulu away. Pick it for the Jinx. It's decent in lane. Also, MYNT are pretty proficient on the Zeri. So
Hmm.
good that they don't have that as an option now if that Tristana was going towards the mid lane. Zyra is going to get picked up. I think that does mean that Bots Maven is going to be the support here for MYNT. I'm not sure where the emergency subs did come in or if there are any and they just are name changing or whatever is going on. But Bots Maven is in this game and Zyra is absolutely terrifying to play against.
I'm hoping to see her mid. No, I'm just kidding. So this tells us
Caitlyn?
absolutely that
Zyra
top.
Caitlyn?
So it's going to be Tom Kench top, Sejuani jungle, Tristana mid, Zyra Caitlyn bot. Zyra Caitlyn bot is hella scary. Ah, and now we have our final pick with Akali as the counter pick to Tristana. Interesting, they're hovering it. Oh, Akshan!
No
Wait a
shot.
minute.
No,
We're
no,
going
no. They're
spicy.
trolling. They're trolling. They're trolling. Surely.
Okay,
Okay.
Cassiopeia. I can see that happening. I can see that happening.
Makes a little more sense than Akshan, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit terrified for the winning formula and MYNT. I'm not sure which team is going to try it, but I feel like in this best of 5, we're going to see some sort of lane swapping going on. That's just my vibe. That's what I'm gathering from this draft. If the winning formula goes for it, I'd be really surprised with their current draft. But at some point in this year's, I'm definitely expecting it. So with these champions, I'm not sure how possible it is, but I would be really curious to see how this early game macro ends up playing out.
Absolutely. I can see a lot of lanes already having the advantage. And the only way to get through it is just to get through it and survive and just give up not giving as many resources as you can to survive to the mid lane.
Hmm.
This is going to be a slugfest. I am excited to see it. Some of these lanes are just going to be explosive, even in the minute things that they do.
Yeah, definitely. One that shouldn't be explosive, at least, is going to be that top side. In my opinion, I don't know if the Volibear or the Zac is going to be played in that top role against that Tom Kench. I guess you were talking about the catfish in the jungle, and who knows? But assuming that Tom Kench is top side, I feel like that's just going to be two meatballs bashing on each other.
I mean,
Similarly, oh, go on.
it could. I was gonna say it could be two meatballs. The dreaded AP Volibear could exist, and
Mm.
that has been a curse on League of Legends where people just take something and make it something else. But AP Volibear is one of the scariest things that to exist in the history of League of Legends, along with Tank Diana and Tank Echo.
Yeah, I really don't want to remember Bork, Diana. That really wasn't a fun time in League of Legends history for sure.
My what was it? My trauma is Jungle Ezreal. That was my trauma.
Really? That's like season. Oh my goodness, that's like season 10, season 9. Surely that is ages
Uh,
ago.
oh, trust me, I've been playing this game too long.
Yeah,
So
that definitely was insane.
I
It was
guess
it was
while
like
the
when his W was like an attack speed buff or something like that, right?
yeah, exactly, just everyone gets faster.
Yeah.
So looking at these comps, I also wanted to talk about the matchups just a tiny bit. I know we talked about Tom Kench and Volibear, but while we're going down, Sejuani and Zac, both are powerful engaged champions. Both of them have very unique set of skills that definitely helps up their team. But what we want to talk about is the performance of who gets where first and who's going to be an advantage and disadvantage in certain situations. And one of my expectations is that Zach is going to have more advantage in majority of the situations versus Sejuani, who has to play as the active frontline versus Zach, who might be on the side being the assassin engager. You know what I mean?
Mm. And I definitely think Sejuani loses a lot of her value here in this draft, just because of the fact that there's only one other melee champion, right?
Mm.
Sejuani Brittle procs off of, or like her E stacks, right? Build up. If Zyra, sorry, if Tom Kench is hitting, but if Zyra's hitting, if Tristana's hitting, if Caitlyn's hitting, the E stacks are not building up, and that's kind of a really influential part of the Sejuani pick usually. So I'm
Oh
curious to
yeah, of
see how that
course.
ends up playing out for sure.
In my eyes, usually when I see a Sejuani in a game, it would be 2 to 3 melee champions. But yeah, she's like you said, she's gonna struggle a lot trying to get her CC off. The only way she's gonna probably get it is that instant R into follow up CC.
Hmm.
With the mid lane as well, I am kind of curious. Tristana is, in my eyes, equivalent to Lucian mid, very aggressive. Level
Mm.
2 is kill time. And Cassiopeia doesn't get online to do really much of anything until level 3, and that's if she manages her mana. So Cassiopeia has to be very careful to play back as soon as level 2 comes out, because Tristana's going to threaten that kill, and then hopefully Cassiopeia doesn't give up too much. It can survive in lane, just enough until Tristana decides to go in, and she can fight back more effectively. What do you think?
No, I definitely agree. It is going to be a case of the winning formula want to relax. They want to chill out in this early game. They don't want to give over too many kills because the side of Mint are playing for full aggression. And that's not even just to say they're just on it, right? Tom Kench is a naturally pretty aggressive lane and kind of a lane bully top lane champion, right? You have
Mhm.
Zyra Caitlyn, which is a lane bully bot lane duo. So a lot of bullying going on for the draft of Mint.
Somebody
And
call the
I think,
police. Jesus.
yeah, honestly, it is going to be the winning formula, finding their formula to make it past 15 minutes in this game. Because if they do, it is one, right? But if they don't, if it gets a little bit too dicey in the early game, it's definitely the Mint Gaming winning out.
A question, I guess, for us to answer is: we just established that the bot lane is going to be very massively in favor early to mint.
Mm.
What are we thinking here for the winning formula? Do we, the obvious answer is play back, play safe. But how much of that can they do until they just straight up give away their advantage until maybe to the mid to late game?
Yeah, it's realistically not that much, right? Like, obviously, if they end up giving over 3 kills, down half CS, like Jinx is going to really, really struggle. But the reality is, if you win one team fight, if Jinx gets excited once in one team fight, manages to pick up 2 or 3 kills, they happen to be shutdowns, right? It can flip the game on its head. Gold Graph can be
Oh, wait a
super
minute.
deceiving. Yeah, that is going to be
Flip it
Zac top
around.
lane.
Zach top lane. That's quite. Oh, well. Okay. We'll see
I
how
mean,
that's
that's
going
what
to
I was
work
talking
out.
about, right? Like the flex is so powerful even in this stage, right? They've already finished the draft. But it was the winning formula. Still surprising Mint Gaming. They already locked in the Tom Kench. They can't choose to swap their top lane matchup, but Zach is going to be towards that top side.
All right, all right. Well, hopefully no more surprises from there. Caitlyn Jinx mid with the
Mm.
Cassiopeia pot, but finishing our thought in the bot lane, hopefully the jungler can give a lot of attention to the bot lane, give Jinx and Lulu that breathing room to be able to form effectively and put a lot of pressure on the bot lane. Hopefully the other lanes can keep it together, especially the Cassiopeia lane,
Mm.
so Volbear can put that pressure on Caitlyn and Zyra.
Yeah, I really do hope that that's the case. Like, obviously, if the winning formula are able to get Jinx and Lulu off the ground, I feel like it is going to be a little bit more of a contentious game. if Mint Gaming do get ahead early, it kind of becomes a slugfest, like you were mentioning, and Mint Gaming do win out in those ones, as we've seen previously in the season, but also with this draft with stuff like Tristana, it benefits from scrappy fights, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Just like Jinx having resets left and right. What do they call it? Mushroom stomp
Getting
or something.
wait, sorry, what?
The term, when Tristana goes from jumping from one target to the next target, they had a specific term for it. I seem to
Malphite
forgot
ult?
what it
No,
was.
no, I have no idea.
Like club stumping or something. But anyways, yes, he's gonna be jumping around, getting all the kills possible. Just
Yeah.
like the Jinx, once she gets excited, everyone's in trouble.
Hmm. Definitely. It'll be an interesting one to see play out as we do nearly finish up redrafting, guys. Obviously, we drafted for you guys, but we're drafting in client now. I'm going to be waiting a few minutes for this spectator delay in just a few seconds. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. I hope that this game is contentious. It's obviously going to spell the result of the series, right? I feel like the first game is super telling of what the rest of the series typically looks like. So hopefully we see a 40-minute banger, and then we see a really long series ahead of us because both of these teams have shown that they deserve to be able to fight in this quarterfinal, or yeah, through this quarterfinals bracket onto the semifinals.
I absolutely agree.
All right, guys. Well, we will be right back after a really short break. You guys don't go anywhere. Get your snacks, get your drinks, and yeah, we'll be back here with all the action on the Rift.
Drifting away. Won't you ride by my side? Holding my mind by my side. Holding my mind. Holding my mind.
start. I'm an emotional, taking in your sweet and considerate heart. Come into my world, give me your spark. Time to land and visit the planet. Give me your try. Still wanna make you sure I'm the reason to come back here. Just don't linger too much, 'cause you're a stranger, baby. So come get to know me. Don't be a stranger now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Summoner's Rift. I'm joined by Quetzal. My name is Drake, and we're about to see 5 members of... Okay, never mind. We're not going to see a 5-team invade. It looks like the side of the winning formula will just back away.
It's looking like they're doing exactly what I thought. They want to track the jungler. These junglers are pretty good at engaging, and Volibear early is forced to be reckoned with, especially with that Thunder Shield. It will hurt.
Are they going for lane swap already? No shot. Zyra's moving top. Nah, maybe it's just like to block the invade. They don't know. They don't know. They're just going to back away shortly.
It's looking like Red Side has 2 wards on the river, and they have managed to get one right inside the blue side. That's very good. As I've noticed, a lot of junglers are opting to start the opposite side, so that just means they're putting a lot of priority in the bot lane. So hopefully, maybe I remember the correct side.
Yeah, it's winning formula on that red side, and it is going to be a pause. We're just back in the game, though. That's always fun. No idea what that pause was for, but they're back in game. 1 minute and 30 seconds in, already pausing. You know how it is.
Well, it's looking like they're already getting aggressive, just like we expect them to. And hopefully, like we said, the Jinx and the Lulu bot lane can keep it together before bad things happen. And so far, I'm pretty impressed. They're biting back, so we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, and this is just, another spectator glitch because of the pause earlier on, but we're back. Just a short frame freeze. Looks like level 2 should go over to the way of the winning formula first. Quality player already has to flash away!
And look at that, already started. The Tristana, the moment that level 2 hits, that Cassiopeia had to flash. So now Cassiopeia is going to be back. Down of Summoner and has to walk all the way back to lane unless she bravely stays, and which she opts to do. So she's playing a very dangerous game right now in the mid lane.
Yeah, super risky. I'm so surprised that he stayed there. Should be healing up, though. A lot of potions used. I think
And
both pots
right
immediately.
now, the junglers are passing through the bot side, so Volibear is actually there faster. Well, he just started his blue, Sejuani going on the Raptors. So we'll see how fast. Oh, this top lanes are just beating on each other real nice.
Okay. But gonna E out, but basing not too scared there. Obviously, they have so much sustain in this top side. Both have grasp as well, so probably just gonna be a little bit of a meat fest up there. But Volibear moving towards this mid lane.
Oh, yep. Volibear having to put the pressure on the mid lane because, of course, until Cassiopeia gets a little bit of levels and a little bit to sustain her mana, both mid and bot lane are going to struggle. And hopefully that doesn't put the Volibear behind. Because right now we see the Sejuani on the bot side, but she's not going to be able to do anything. Right now her lane is pushed all the way in. So we're going to probably see her go back and see where she can probably go on the map. Currently, the only option she has is mid, but outside of that, it's probably going to be a very slow start for them.
Which, I mean, is fine, right? Like, you don't need to get kills in the first 5 minutes. It's ideal if you can get some flashes or some summoners, but we already know quality player has no flash, right? A lot of aggression coming out from Shook in that mid game, in that mid lane in the early game. Sejuani backing in that mid lane as well, looking for something, has the flash up, so maybe.
Absolutely, they are making sure. Like, look at that, she's hovering. They want this kill. They want to get that early advantage. Oh, and
they're looking bot lane though.
Sejuani is invading, getting information, so that tells her that they probably can guess where the Volibear is. And
yeah, an engage in from the Tristana. Shook not really gonna be able to get out because of the ground, and actually barely able to rocket jump out. Doesn't die to the burn. Quality player fighting back valiantly, even though he's a level down and obviously struggling in this lane. Both mid laners still alive and just sitting around. I feel like these junglers are gonna find each other at least sooner or later.
I'm very happy to see that the Cassiopeia is able to still keep it together. And look at that, they just found each other. A little hello smacks.
I mean, it took them so long. Sejuani literally took his wolves like he doesn't know. I'm surprised he didn't question mark ping wolves at that point, realizing that they're gone.
The trend is that the lanes that we thought were going to be behind are just boxing each other heavily. And it is good to see. Like I said, we're here for a banger, so nobody's just going to pay passively. Everyone's going to give up HP as like a resource.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see as well, right? Game 1, like I was saying earlier, does tell a lot about the series at hand, and looks like neither of these two teams really have too much nerves going on. Definitely willing to scrap each other. Even Inigo in this top side, just walking up, you know. Low HP Tom Kench, a level down. Not really respecting basing at all, but it doesn't matter.
All he has to do is hit the Q, and he gets the health he wants back.
Woo.
Oh, and Flash. Inigo having to respect that Zac is gonna hurt if he is able to combo off whatever he hits on. And currently they're all here going into the
That's just rude.
The grubs. You forget what they're all going. At least you can't have 3. You get 1, and that's a win in the end. And here it is again.
Engaging. Shook has a lot of tools to do it. First blood over to Shook in this mid lane.
Look at that, taking advantage of the flash. The moment that ignite came up, Tristana went right in, aggressive as hell. And this is before the Cassiopeia had level 6, so he did a very good job of ensuring that he went right in before Cassiopeia had the opportunity to counterattack.
Yeah, really well played from Shook, and really good for MYNT, right? We were talking about how they needed to get these leads in the early game with stuff like Tristana, Caitlyn, Zyra, right? These champions really want to get accelerated in the early game because they don't matter nearly as much as stuff like Cassio, Jinx in that later stage of the game. So good to see that they're getting their feet off the ground at least a little bit, and hopefully they can claim this dragon or at least some sort of neutral objective after getting this pressure.
I mean, at least they recognize if this game goes longer than we want, we're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, definitely. If you're the side of MYNT, or if you're a MYNT fan, right, you really don't want this game to get past 25, 30 minutes. It gets really, really dicey really quick.
You know, Cassiopeia don't get boots, but she's hella scared once she starts getting those E's off.
Yeah, exactly. Gonna be really slow for now, and Volibear obviously hovering around that dragon. Cassio moving in to clear that vision. Obviously, in the top side, Inigo is getting low. He has no flash, but he actually ulted the Zac and is basing just dead underneath the turret. An easy outplay coming out from Inigo, but in his bot lane, it looks like Volibear flashes onto Myers. Myers isn't going to get out of this one. Jinx is excited and looking for more. Zyra is just going to die. It's a double kill for Perky, and will he look for more? Luckyfield, surely you can't find your way out of this one. 4 members of the side of the winning formula will dive you, and Quality Player does end up falling for his sins, but it will be 2 kills going the way of the winning formula on this bot side.
That is absolutely amazing. The red side are ensuring that they stay in this game. They don't want to go out silently in the quiet night. They want to fight back. You want to get the early game? Well, we're going to give you the early game. You got to earn it. And right now, both teams are same kills, same gold. So right now, the advantages that blue side wanted is going away little by little. And if they don't make bigger and badder plays, they're just going to fall behind.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Jinx obviously is 2-0, so that's absolutely terrifying for this bottom side, but Tristana's 1-0. Tom Kench is ahead in the top side, so Zac's going to be struggling for quite a bit. The thing is with Zac, he's just kind of an engaged bot once it gets towards the later stages. He finishes one item, he's tanky enough, like, the champion isn't too mad about getting behind, but Tom Kench can be an absolute monster if he's ahead, so that's kind of what the winning formula need to worry about here in this top side.
Absolutely. I'm expecting the Zac, I mean, he's already done it, to go a little bit of AP. He definitely wants to make sure that the Tom Kench cannot heal, and here we go again. The moment those spells are up.
Yeah, I'm immediately trying to look for some sort of engage. Obviously, it was a free dragon going the way of MYNT. A little bit unfortunate for the winning formula that they weren't able to get anything off of those kills earlier. Good flash away from Shek should secure his safety, but that's a flash down on Tristana. A really, really pivotal summoner for these grubs and this fight that should be happening on the top side at some point soon.
We're gonna hopefully see a lot more fighting at these neutral objectives because, like I said, if MYNT doesn't do bigger plays, they will fall behind.
Speaking of bigger plays, the Glacial Prison misses, but it will be a kill going to Lucky Field in this mid lane. Really well played coming out from these two players on the side of MYNT Gaming.
I love those random things where Tristana says, "I'm just gonna push you into Sejuani ult," and the Sejuani ult is the thing that finishes her. It's just kiss.
Yeah, it was beautiful to see. Really good coordination from those two, especially with a substitute mid laner, right? And looks like the bot lane really popping off as well for MYNT. A lot of pressure coming out from them all of a sudden.
So we have here 85 creeps to 77. So Jinx is doing a very good job, plus the 2 kills and staying in this game. Like I said, Caitlyn and Zyra is about to stop mattering because Lulu's going to be able to pop those shields off left and right to make sure the Jinx stays in the lane, stained.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Zyra has options, right? She can get really, really strong with her AP. Really start burning down those shields. And then the poke war comes out, which is just an entirely different battle as well. Oliver on the spot side, not going to make anything happen.
Looks like
Grub's going over.
Looks like the Sejuani has engaged the neutral objectives and the grubs, but is she going to let this smooth little kill go by easy, or hopefully?
I mean, Inigo's just gonna win, right? Like, surely this is not legal, man. Okay, the Q misses, but the ultimate comes out. Sejuani's not moving. Looks like it is just gonna be a 1v1. Okay, Sedge finally decided to move. Lucky Field is here, and it is gonna be a kill onto Basing, but he won't quite be able to get anything back. Really well played from these two. Oh, the Jinx rocket barely missed.
Sejuani 3-1-0. One of the very few tank champions you really don't want kills on, because now she's just gonna run at you and just mow you down with the CC, with her HP percent damage. It's just a sad thing to see sometimes. ADC in the back line wondering why the tank can kill me.
Yeah, it is what it is, you know, but it is ADCs in 2024, so despite them not being able to 1v1 the Sejuani, the ADCs do matter towards the later stages. Obviously, they have beefy frontline on the side of the winning formula as well. They have to get through a Volibear, through a Cassio ground. They have to get through a Zac. Perky not taking any damage from that Caitlyn ultimate. There's a lot to get through if you want to get to the Perky in this backline.
Absolutely. Right now, with the grubs down, with the grubs down, both teams do have the opportunity to be able to push in and get damage on that turret, but it's looking like right now MYNT has the advantage because they have more grubs. So, the winning formula does have to be careful giving up those times where poking is too much and they have to back up, because they will take those turrets fast and easy.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Kenshin in this top side as well already has a full item. Tristana has that static completed. Jinx is the only one kind of keeping up on the side of the winning formula in items, but that's kind of what you wanted. Like, the winning formula isn't pissed that they're a little bit behind. They knew that that was going to happen with the Cassiopeia against Tristana. You know, maybe one more dragon they can give over. If they're able to fight this third one, they're in a pretty good state, I think.
I mean, this meatball fight is very entertaining.
I mean, Basing is just losing, no?
Wait a minute.
I mean, the tongue barely misses, but it's another ultimate coming out from Inigo. Basing has to find a way out. He has the flash available, pops the ult. Will he be able to get his blobs? No, he will not. It's just another free kill. Inigo absolutely dominating this top lane.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, yeah. Surely it's just a kill going over to Inigo. It will. A little bit close. A valiant effort coming out from Basing, but once again, this catfish is popping off.
Like he said, my name is Inigo Montoya, and you're in my lane.
Prepare to die.
Like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to movie goes. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, you walked up to me, prepare to die. Exactly. Makes sense. And Zac, once again, in the grave, has is quite behind on the items because he had to complete that Oblivion Orb as well. This bot lane is just a horror. We'll have to see if Perky's able to make something happen with these 2 kills, because this is just really not cool. 14 minutes, didn't even quite ding, so it's a lot of gold going into the pockets of these 2 bot lane champions.
One of my concerns is that, like we discussed earlier, you know, Volibear has to put in the resources to ensure that their laners stay in lane, and lo and behold, Sejuani is now 3-1, so she already has a full item complete with full boots, and Volibear only has full boots, so that resource giving up now has occurred. He has to give up his time in the jungle to be able to keep up with the Sejuani. And Sejuani, if she keeps getting more kills, she's just gonna run over the Volibear eventually.
100% true, and it is just the reality, the sad reality for the winning formula that they are officially on a timer, right? That's 2 dragons given over, that's Grubs mainly given over as well. A flash into the mid lane, and it is another death given over shortly. Oh, Lulu actually able to find his way out, barely surviving. Vexrax does go down, just gets the rocket jump because of it, and will Shook be able to get out? No, the Volibear ultimate comes out, and it is Hello Bear here to say hello. Trying to find some sort of damage onto the Barely Sinners, is going to re-engage onto Lucky Field. The Q from Zach barely misses, but he's able to follow up enough. And it will be kills going back the way of the winning formula, barely. And maybe the Rift Herald as well.
Absolutely massive. We were just talking mess about how the winning formula was behind, that MYNT was getting ahead with these towers, with these kills, with these neutral objectives. And then suddenly, boom! It just came out of nowhere in the mid lane. This is absolutely what we were looking for. The banger. And never mind.
Zyra stole it! Zyra stole the Rift Herald, and Inigo Montoya has picked it up. He told you that he's prepared to kill your team, Perky. Will he be able to find anything further? Vexrax on the run, but a catfish barely missed his cue, so maybe Lulu will actually be able to get out of this one. But a massive heist coming out from the side of MYNT.
That is extremely unfortunate for the winning formula. They had so much momentum there with getting so many kills in the mid lane, going straight to the Herald, only to have it snatched away right at the end. But something's better than nothing, I guess, and hopefully they can do something with that skirmish in the mid lane and giving up the Herald.
Yeah, I mean, I really do feel bad for Perky, right? 3-0-3. You obviously see Lee Sinners also 2-1. Did miss the smite, but we're going to look away from that for now. And we're also going to look away from top and mid KDA on the side of the winning formula if you're trying to keep your mental in this game. I feel like if Cassio, I feel like if Cassio and Zach are able to get off the ground a little bit, it might be a different story. But 0-4 in the mid lane, 1-3 in the top side, it's a bit rough for the side of the winning formula.
Hopefully with now the mid game slowly approaching, or we're just here in the literal middle of the mid game, they can go ahead and put champions in the lanes that they need to have. But so far,
man, that's so sad.
MYNT is just all up in their jungle, not even letting them give lane assignments. And look at that, and they're already wanting to push down the bot lane. They're like I said, they want to finish early and they want to finish fast. They know the mid-late game is not their friend, and they're doing just that, taking these towers down one by one, dropping the Herald. We'll see how far this can go.
I mean, it's definitely far enough for now, right? I don't think the second tier 2 should go down. I guess there's a chance Inigo is doing quite a bit of damage, and nobody's really there to back up the Cassiopeia. 2 tier 2s for a mid tier 1, that's definitely worth it. You also get a kill, you might even be able to get a tier 3. The tier 2 obviously going down on this top side. Will Quality Player even be able to fight it? I think he just has to back away. Yeah, a tier 3 an inhibitor at 17 minutes? It is just absolutely MYNT running the map.
This pressure is absolutely insane. Like we said, wait a minute, that Volibear does not give a care.
Yeah, I mean, he would have died if he kept going in. He tried his best. A little bit of a rage engage, but is going to go down, disengage, sorry. And once again, like we said, it is MYNT kind of running the map. Really good of them to keep the agency up, right? They are aware that they're on a timer, and like you said, they are playing to it to a T.
Well, right now, the only other objectives that are coming up will be the dragon up in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Of course, that will be MYNT's time to set up wards and vision around the jungle, and hopefully they can get even more out of the winning formula once they try to step into just do anything about it. In that 18 minutes, they can't even threaten Baron. So now they're forced to either push lanes or fight back in their jungle, and right now, pushing lanes is all they probably have without losing too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's so difficult to play in the position that the winning formula are in, right? We mentioned that they were going to get behind early, but this is beyond behind. This is quite in the deficit here. And we were talking about that decision that they made earlier as well, opting for that mid-tier 1 for 2 tier 2s and a tier 3 and an inhibitor. I feel like the gold just doesn't really add up there. Obviously, you opened up the map, but to what cost? They really need to be able to turtle and play out these fights, somehow get picks, but it is up to the side of MYNT to make the mistakes at this stage.
I mean, right now the winning formula has to slow this game down. Like they literally have no choice, even if it means giving up here and there certain things. But they have to slow the game down somehow, or else Mint will just run them over. And I mean, this is pretty good. Trading Dragon for something instead of nothing. So
Yeah, I
at the
mean,
very least, they're able to get the gold in their team.
yeah, I agree. I do agree. I feel like it's a sad trade, right? You also lost tier 2 mid. Zach couldn't hold it on his own. It just looks really, really bad. This Baron spawning shortly as well. I mean, at this point, what trade can you make that's anywhere near positive unless the enemy team messes up absolutely massively?
I just saw in chat something that was very profound that I always keep in my head when it comes to these steam rolling, and that's taking inhibitor for 20 minutes. Yeah, that's a cool flex, and yeah, it looks nice, but what you're really doing is you're funneling gold into the enemy's team's base. And all you have to do is put the proper carry to farm that, and then they'll get the gold back well, and there it is.
And speaking of the proper carry, looks like Shook will be having some technical issues. Unsure of what they are, but hopefully they get back to the game very shortly. Like you said, it is going to be a lot of gold going towards this Cassiopeia, as it does look like Quality Player is the one farming. Looks like they will be back in the game very, very shortly. The R messages are already coming out, so not too long on that. But yeah, a lot of gold going into Quality. A lot of XP as well is another factor, right? These extra minions each wave do add a lot of XP as well. But I feel like it is a lot of pressure as well, right? They're able to probably secure this Baron for free because Cassio has to move towards that bottom side. She didn't go TP. The only person with TP on your team is Basting, and he's obviously not really able to farm, take all that XP and gold away from the Cassio or the Jinx. It's just so difficult because Quality Player has this Ghost.
It's one of those damn if you do, damn if you don't. Their tank, they're one of their really powerful engaged tanks are. I am not the only one saying this. Okay, good.
No. This is normal. Yeah, this is just the delay after the delay. It'll be like 2 seconds and it'll be back. But yeah, like you mentioned, it is damned if you do, damned if you don't. Basting if he's able to secure that farm and that XP freely and then TP towards these objectives, it's just chalked either way. So Lee Sinner's just gonna face check. This can't be good. Lulu's gonna die in the backline. Volibear got deleted. Vexrax, you're not long for this world. Able to actually get out for now. Just on ult, saving her life. Perky in the backline, actually free hitting. Inigo is trying to engage though and gets knocked up by the Zac. Really good front line coming out from Basting, but it's not enough space. When your Jinx doesn't do damage, the flash forward actually, and it is Jinx getting excited. Will Perky be able to make anything happen? Quality Player flashes forward. It is the Lulu that gets deleted by the Caitlyn. Caitlyn gets away as well. And so much damage coming out from Cassio and Perky. It will be a couple kills going the way of the winning formula. It could have been worse. It's not bad, but it's not great either.
That was... this might be a trend for the winning formula. Somehow they're just randomly losing, and then it's a slow burn,
Basting?
and suddenly,
Basting!
oh,
Why? You didn't need to do that. None of that was necessary. You start commending the winning formula, and they start running it down. Like, what? This is the epitome of caster curses. This game.
we'll just pretend that the Zac decided to instantly back this game. He's just gonna chill for 22 seconds, 21 seconds, But like I was saying, the winning formula slowly losing to suddenly get a banger of a fight, and then we pretend we're blind and we don't see what happens afterwards. But then it gives them the opportunity to come back. And at this moment in time, Jinx has just finished her IE. And her Kraken Slayer, my god. Give her the chance to get excited again, and we'll see how much Mick can hold on, because that fight, Sejuani got melted. Why Sejuani didn't leave and, save herself? Who knows? But, oh, wait a minute.
Okay, speaking of engages and potential, Lee Sinner's looking for something, and it will be Shook just getting deleted. Zac engaging into the backline. Zyra will be able to find her way out, but Myers is caught in the crossfire. No abilities to get out. Jinx gets excited. Another kill onto Perky. Lee Sinner's in this backline. Hello, Bear, trying to say goodbye to the Bear, but he won't for now. Lucky Field is trying to disengage as much as he can. Zyra ult does get Perky off of him, but the Baron might be on the cards for the winning formula.
My god. The Mint team got comfortable, and they were trying to okay, we lost the fight, we can set back up and everything. And the winning formula took advantage just blasting ahead, and now Baron is well within their sights. The Jinx was brave, running in there, and hopefully they can take something because they're about to lose their bot inhibitor. So with the Baron, they can reset much more quickly than the Tom Kench can push, and boom, the winning formula managed to get a good enough victory. You know, out of this last 5 to 10 minutes that we were just watching them go downhill.
Yeah, it's definitely good, right? The gold is nearly evened up, only 3,000 differential between these two. And we were talking about how useless Caitlyn and Zyra become towards the later stages, especially if Zyra can't get super accelerated like in a solo queue game, right? Like, I have seen Zyra's one-shot me late game. I do play carry junglers, but like the reality is like Zyra does get a little bit difficult to deal with if she gets ahead. But she's level 10, you know, she has one item completed if you don't count the support item. She's not terrifying. And this Jinx, that's what I would call terrifying.
Absolutely. The Jinx especially has the one get out of jail free card, and that is the cleanse. If she cleanses the
Three
correct
items.
CC, she will roll over MYNT. It's just a matter of what do I flash and what do I cleanse. And then all she has to do is play behind the beefy frontliners. Her Lulu, her Cassiopeia. I'm just kidding. The whole team is the front line.
It's true, it's true. And speaking of frontline, they're doing their job at the moment, trying to find some sort of way into this river. It is Hextech Dragon Soul on the cards.
Here he comes.
Really influential soul, and in the engage from Basting, he isn't able to find the backline quite yet. It is actually the Glacial Prison getting onto Vexrax, and the members of the winning formula are just getting melted. They do end up going down at least one. It is 1-for-1 for now, but Quality Player is doing his best in that front line. He does end up dying. Inigo Montoya in this backline is absolutely popping off. The Caitlyn ultimate secures the kill into Lulu and Perky. What can you do against this catfish? Another kill going the way, and it should be an ace picked up from the side of MYNT. Can they just end the game here?
It's looking like they're running. Oh, there's the TP. He's wanting to push in super duper hard. They have 3 members. They have the ADC and they have the support with the AP, so they may very well take this game number 1.
Insane plays coming out from MYNT. We saw them struggle a little bit, right? We saw a lot of comeback plays coming out from the winning formula. We were talking about this game being kind of a telltale sign for how the series is about to go. This definitely makes me excited. These two teams super contentious, even though the game looked kind of lost for the winning formula in the early stages.
We will, we're gonna make the assumption that yep, they take it. So MYNT taking game 1.
Insane stuff. Obviously, this is a best of 5, so a lot of games to be played, but really, really good stuff coming out from the winning. From MYNT here. Not to mention the winning formula. Obviously, a valiant effort. But MYNT claiming it, they knew they made a couple of mistakes, I'm sure. But they shored up on them enough in that last fight to claim the win. So really good stuff. That's game 1 of this best of 5. I'm super excited to see how this series plays out.
Absolutely. Hopefully, the winning formula doesn't let that loss get them down. You know, they had a very good time here and there getting those comeback kills, and hopefully they can take that with them to the next game. Like, there's always a potential to get something crazy out of losing games. You know, every time I'm losing a game in solo queue, I'm always thinking, what would SKT do? I've seen SKT, their backs literally against the Nexus, somehow pull out a win. So if they can do it, why not us?
It's a good point. And obviously the winning formula were nearly able to pull something off there. Got a couple of team fights out of nowhere. And if that's realistically the worst that an early game can go, right, that's a good sign for the winning formula. If that's the worst that it can go, they draft a little bit more early game in the next game. They actually do stuff, challenge some of these neutral objectives. It could be an entirely different game that plays out on our screens. But we'll obviously have to wait and see in the next draft, in the next game. We're going to go to a short break while the players recoup, develop their new drafts, and we'll be back here with draft in just a few minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere.
take it too far to say that we could not pretend now. Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you find a way to bring me home. And I want something I can.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back here to Risen Dominate quarterfinals. I am joined by Quetzal. My name is Drake, and we're here to watch Game 2 of this Best of 5 series between Mint Gaming and the Winning Formula. I'm super excited after that first game. It was absolutely adrenaline-fueled. How excited are you, Quetzal?
I want to see the same explosiveness again. One side losing, then randomly, bam, they're coming back. They start losing again, bam, they're coming back. It could literally go either way.
It definitely can. And like you mentioned, the Winning Formula managed to come back slightly. It looked like they were actually in the lead, or at least like in the potential for grasping the lead, right? They had a couple of opportunities, but it just went downhill so many times. I mean, I'm thinking about the Rift Herald, right? They got the Rift Herald. It was in their pockets. They just had to smite it. But Zyra stole it, and then all of a sudden Mint Gaming are in the lead again, right? And then another fight around the Baron, and somehow Mint Gaming win around that dragon. It's just back and forth, but Mint Gaming absolutely popping off when they needed to, and it shows because they managed to take game one. So I'm excited to see how this next draft plays out. I do believe the Winning Formula have claimed blue side. Anything you want to see from the Winning Formula? I'm not sure if they actually have bans this time around or if they just don't have bans for the whole series. But anything you want to see them deal with Mint?
One of the things I do want to see is that I want them to spread out their priority in these champion picks, right? They chose 2 late game carries in the Cassiopeia and the Jinx. That means that both of them had to wait until the mid to late game, and they didn't give them an opportunity to fight back in any sort of capacity. And that's why the Tristana was able to roll over the Cassiopeia, which is why the Caitlyn and the Zyra was able to push back against the Lulu and the Jinx, right? One of these
Yeah.
carries have to have that pressure in the early game. Something that says, hey, I'll take this half of the game, and then you take the other half of the game. That way, depending on how resources get here and there, somebody can do something at any point of the game.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that from the Winning Formula as well. And it's something that they can do, right? Like, I've seen them do it. I've literally seen them do it in this season. I've seen them do it in the last season. Lee Sinners and Quality Player are players that are able to get the ball rolling early. They have champions in their champion pool that are able to do these things, right? They have the Viego, which was banned away. They have the Ari, obviously will be banned away with the Xin Zhao as well. But they have other stuff in their arsenal, right? You know that, well, I don't know if you know, but we should know that Lee Sinners, obviously he plays Lee Sin, right? He plays stuff that gets stuff done early. He plays J4 as well. Volibear, it's okay, but maybe something that's able to get a little bit more of this early game agency. I think looking towards the jungle, looking towards the mid lane as well, maybe picking the Talia since it's not banned in this ban phase could be super influential for the Winning Formula here.
One of the things I also want to see is hopefully they don't get taken over by that mental where, oh, we lost game 1. All right, fuck it. Just play everyone whatever you want to play. And then suddenly they're able to come back. The first game, it was good. They had a comp, they had an idea. And now that it didn't really work, now they need to come back and try another idea. Hopefully that still has some sort of goal to reach. Instead of,
Yeah.
all right, which one of us is going to pop up? Is it you? Is it you? All right, we're just going to throw our resources at you.
Yeah, I definitely do want to see that as well. As this Callisto does get picked up, interesting picks coming out from Mint. Really confident. Never mind. It was okay. So production has just informed us that it will be Tom Kench actually instead of Callista. Just swap those 2 champions on your screen. Apparently, it was a Callista ban as well. So it's going to be Tom Kench, Jinx. Really strong pairing in this bottom side, assuming that the Kench doesn't get unbenched towards that top side.
I'm really loving that Tom Catch skin. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, he looks a little thinner in this one, but yeah, that will be the Tom Kench picked up alongside the Jinx and Orianna, Volibear. A lot of wombo combination coming out from the side of Winning Formula. Why not add a green blob on top of all of that? A lot of stuff coming out from the Winning Formula that can definitely prove to be a winning formula in these team fights.
I am shocked that they're still going with kind of the same champions, but at the very least, the Winning Formula has a very decent idea of put ball on engager, ball
Mhm.
explodes. So very straightforward comp, and it's nice to see that mid just takes away the jinx. So now the winning formula has to figure out who's going to be their bot carry. And Aurelion Soul comes through for the mid lane. That's going to be a very interesting matchup. This is now a late game carry versus early to mid game. So we're gonna see who gets to pop off first here.
Yeah, I'm a little scared for the winning formula because it looks like if Mint are able to get ahead early, if they know how to do that, realistically, they should be able to know how to stabilize the game towards the mid stages. And if Aurelion Sol is able to even get ahead, like the mid laner of Mint did get ahead last game, right? I will never be able to pronounce this guy's name, Such or something like that. SCH, bro. Played, obviously, this just taught in the last game, got ahead. If he gets ahead on something like an Aurelion Soul, it just proves absolute devastation onto the side of the winning formula in these team fights.
I just noticed Mint are doing exactly what the winning formula did in the first game, and that is put two late game carries in the mid and the bot lane.
Mm.
Uh, Hopefully that doesn't give them the curse of falling behind and having to wait to mid late game to pop off. And the winning formula have opted to do something very interesting with the early to mid game with the ball delivery. So
Hmm.
we'll see if the winning formula can recognize that and take full advantage by pressing their advantage of early game and not giving Mint any room to get to the mid to late game first.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how that plays out. A little bit of a weird visual glitch on our screens for the draft, but I think it was the other two bans already came through. Two ADC bans for the side of Mint, and gosh, I can't remember. I think it was Zyra. Yeah, it gets banned away. Um, it will be banned away, sorry, from the winning formula. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what gets picked up. Hopefully, some sort of engaged jungle champion, right, for the side of Mint. I feel like you were mentioning, they have a little bit of a lack of early game prowess. Milio is okay. Jinx is able to survive a little bit easier with a little bit of that extra range. MF going to be picked up from the winning formula, and they're indexing fully into that team fight.
I am very excited to see this. Now they're having a beautiful wombo combo on the side of the winning formula. Ball delivery, and why not put a wave of bullets on top of that? Oh my goodness. If the Mint team cannot move flash fast enough, or Millia doesn't press R fast enough, that is going to be a deleted Mint.
Yeah, and I mean, you want something here for Mint that's able to activate the early game, right? That's able to contest these early objectives. I have no idea what that's going to be. A Maokai, it's good for team fights. It's good to stabilize the mid game, but it will prove a little bit difficult for Mint to be able to get their wheels off the ground in this early game. It's going to be a really hard team fight against the winning formula. Obviously, Leona Ultimate, MF Ultimate, Oriana Shockwave, you have Volibear Engage, you have Zac Engage, and they're not bad disengage tools either. It's going to be a very, very uphill battle for the side of Mint in this draft.
I'm loving it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Straightforward, the straightforward comp for the winning formula.
Hmm.
I am very curious about what is Mint's mindset here with this comp. Maokai is a beautiful early game CC champ, right? Point and
Hmm.
click, knockups, the free vision. He does it all. But when he engages, these three champions, will they be able to kill fast enough?
Yeah.
Tom Kinch early lacks the damage. Aurelion Soul has to build up to that damage. Jinx, again, early game, her attack speed is not all that. If you keep someone there long enough, she will kill. But right now, what I'm seeing is that Maokai is going to be a scare you type of jungler. I'm here. I can lock you down. Okay, now back up. I gotta go back in the jungle.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that could be the case. Obviously, a couple of disengage tools that are really useful to him as well. Maybe it's a case of Mint are willing to just play slow in this early game, disengage when they have to, just get away. Realistically, just don't die, farm decently, and get towards the later stages. Right, Aurelion Soul becomes unstoppable towards that point in the game. Jinx also very very strong with Emilio by her side, of course. Tom Kench not too shabby as we saw in that last game. Once it gets towards the later stages, so maybe that's their goal here. That's their game plan, and they've definitely fully drafted towards it.
Absolutely. I'm hoping that they can take advantage of the early game how do I say this? Early game disengages, right? Leona goes in, Emilio kicks her away, or he R's on top of her CC. Aurelion Soul just press the E button and we all get upset because we can't chase him down. It's like chasing a singed. and Tom Kench just hops away. So they have those escape options. Let's see how often they get to use them and if they're effectively used. Because again, if the winning formula catches them when those important summoners or their important skills are down, it's over for them.
Yeah, 100%. And especially post 6, like one thing that the winning formulas draft is not lacking at all in is going to be CC, right? You have Zach engage with his E, you have his Q as well, you have his R to boot, you have Volibear engage with his Q, his E slows, his ultimate slows. Oriana slows you as well. Like there's just so many. Leona, I didn't even mention her, but every single ability in her kit pretty much it will CC you. So just absolutely horrible to play against these champions, especially if they get ahead. There's no running away. Maybe Aurelion Sol and Tom Kench, like you mentioned, might be able to get out, but the other members, it's going to be a very difficult team fight if they do fall behind. So Mint really going to be playing on a nice edge here, making sure that they don't fall too far behind, that they are just absolutely irrelevant in these team fights, because if it gets to that stage, the winning formula could run away with this game.
All I can say is good luck. You're gonna figure out the vibe of this game within the first 3 to 5 minutes. It's all dependent upon the first gank. It's gonna be all dependent upon the very first objective to fight over, and from there, I mean, hell, the winning formula might start losing again, and then boom, come back all of a sudden out of nowhere. It might be one of those stories again, but
So basically, what you're saying is our job is absolutely useless. We can't predict this. These teams are absolutely insane. Like we don't know who's going to run it down. We don't know if this Zach is just going to int into 5 members again. Like we have no idea what's going on here. And reality is, like, I agree. You know, like what are we going to do? These players are insane. Mint at least index towards what they're comfortable with, right? The winning formula I mentioned in the last draft do like to play these wombo combo standard team fight team comps. So they've indexed into that as well. So both teams are comfortable in this draft. And that's what I'm excited to see, at least, because these two teams balanced who was in the lead in the last game with stuff that they were uncomfortable with. What the heck is going to happen when these two teams are playing what they're used to playing?
I hope my computer doesn't explode. That's all I got.
I hope their computers don't explode either. And Riot Games, I swear, if you guys have more spectator glitches, guys, we can't have more than 3 pauses in a game. What's that about? Like, realistically, that's a bit insane as well. These guys are crazy. But you know, it is what it is. We'll get with you guys onto the Rift in a very short amount of time. I think about 4 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. Spectator is a little weird today, so maybe we'll get in even sooner. But you guys don't go anywhere. You have time to grab some snacks, have time to get some drinks, and we'll be back here with all the action of Game 2 in this best of 5 between TWF and Mint in just a few minutes.
I can see it all so well. Lie so you can take the power. Living on your carousel is all that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Summoner's Rift here at Risen Dominate Quarterfinals. We're here to watch the winning formula take on MYNT Gaming. They have lost their first game in this best of 5. I'm joined by Ketzel. Ketzel, how excited are we to watch this game 2 in this best of 5 series?
I am hoping that the blue team can actually get away with what they're doing right now. And it's
Surely they
looking
saw
like-
them, no?
It's looking like they got what they needed. One ward in the red side. Plan executed perfectly, boys. Let's get back home.
I mean, you did concede a red ward as well, so I guess it is what it is.
Actually,
You're willing to
the,
give it away if you get the vision, I guess.
MYNT actually got 3 wards in on their own side. That's weird. That's okay. I
Yeah.
guess they were more concerned with invades than they were
Mm.
getting information to their jungler. But at least they know the ward up there in the Raptors that's warded.
Yeah, Volibear isn't going to start Maokai's Raptors. It's 100% true. I mean, or else you will see it. So good to see, I guess. And I feel like this mid lane matchup will go the way of Quality Player in the early game. But I'm really curious to see how Quality Player is able to get this matchup off the ground. It's going to be a little bit difficult here for him once Anthony starts getting those stacks. Looks like, oh, Anthony's also in this game, by the way, guys. We have Anthony back. It is the full roster from the side of MYNT. That's good to see.
Oh man! Now hopefully things can spice up a little bit. I don't know. Right now, the bot lane and the mid lane are going ham sandwich against each other, boxing here and there. And I'm already expecting top lane just to be 2 big meatballs, undying grasping each other. You know what I mean? So we will see. And engage level 2. Look at that.
Interesting. I think Leona was still level 1 barely, and then level 2 as soon as the engage came out, but obviously Jinx got level 2 as well, so it wasn't that great. Quality Player taking so much damage. Anthony, man, you're not making Aurelion Sol look like a late game champion, dude.
We just said it. You got to be on our side, Anthony. Gosh, man.
Yeah, come on, man. The Star Dragon is so broken at the moment. It's actually ridiculous, but hopefully it's okay. Quality Player is now a level up. Gonna be able to poke Anthony back a little bit. Has that sustain with the potions and the biscuits, I'm sure. Yeah, sure. Realistically, not a lot of kills should go down in this early game between any of these lanes if they're playing them correctly. I think really focus on where these junglers are pathing. Obviously, Inigo Montoya looking a little aggressive in this top side. Did just play this matchup, so knows exactly how it plays out now. But yeah, Maokai, Volibear clearing a lot quicker. Eyes on where Lee Sinners is and what he's able to get done in this early game.
Right now, the biggest X factor is going to be the junglers. Who's able to get off a gank first? Who's able to do something special first? Because right now, everything is very back and forth. Mid, top, bottom. They're gonna box. They're gonna, stay within.
No.
Oh!
Lee Sinners, man, like it would have been kind of really not. No, it wouldn't have been worth. If you did steal that, it would have been BM as heck. But obviously, an engage, a flash into the mid lane. Vexrax is able to get the flash out from Anthony and no more damage to follow up. The ignite does go down. A lot of summoners used from the side of the winning formula in this early game, and that's what I like to see. Spice this game up. Don't let the enemy team win this early game for free. I mean, we're trying. We aren't succeeding, but we're trying.
I'm happy that Lee Sinners was, doing a confident move there. He flashed, just be, hey, I don't need this. I just want to show you I don't need it, and then he walked out.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Flash in, walk out, don't explain.
Exactly. mess with the jungler's mind. Like, oh man, that guy just did the thing. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Lucky Field was like, damn, I don't have the cojones for that, Like, it is what it is. But yeah, the tree did get his blue buff and really isn't going to mind that much. But it is Lee Sinners with a little bit of a faster clear because he is playing the Volibear. Anthony, if he moves in, is he under threat? I mean, Lee Sinners has no flash. Anthony.
Oh, what?
Oh! A really good flash forward from Lucky Field actually buffered Lee Sinners' Q and, tanked Lee Sinners' Q and wasn't able to find the engage. Obviously, that is a Maokai flash, so not ideal. But now no jungler has a flash, and Quality Player still has his flash in the mid lane. I think level 6 is going to be really pivotal for these teams.
I'll be the one to say it. Anthony had no business standing there at all
true.
whatsoever. He basically blew his jungler's flash for him, and that's quite unfortunate. You know, especially with having 15 to 20% health, walking at a near. Wait a minute, disrespectful.
I mean, Quality has flash, right? So like realistically, he has the ability to play this aggressively. He's just gonna walk out, and I think it's something that we don't realize as often is that like in the early game, champions just don't deal nearly as much damage as they probably could in the later stages. So yeah, really good from Quality player to just walk away there, keep his flash, and pressure in the spot side for this dragon, I think.
Absolutely. Right now, quality player has summoner's advantage. So that means that the moment that he feels comfortable to be able to pull the trigger, Anthony's just gonna have to watch the ball as it kills him.
The center's looking for an engage on Anthony. He actually doesn't quite get the Q, and that means that the dragon will be able to get out for free. The dragon might actually be able to secure the dragon for the side of MYNT, and that will be Infernal Dragon, a really good pickup for their draft, right? Jinx, Aurelion Sol, very happy to have this under their belt.
Really weird early game. Weird, like, not wait a minute.
Anthony doesn't have flash. He doesn't have ultimate. Can Quality player find the damage? Yes, he can. It's a first blood onto this Orianna.
Anthony did not respect the fact that he did not have flash. He needed to play a little bit safer, because the moment level 6 happened on the quality player, that should have been Anthony backing the hell up. And unfortunately, that's what you get.
I mean, that's what you get when you sub in your mid laner after the first game, you know? First game nerves, you know? First game of the day. It is what it is. Anthony can't be blamed. Hopefully that is the only kill going over in this early stage, as Aurelion Sol is a champion that likes to be able to scale up, get ahead. Not really going to be able to make that much happen if he's too far behind.
I mean, to me, that was a wake-up kill, you know? Dump some water on him, get some Kool-Aid in him, or Gatorade, whatever. Have Orianna kill you, boom, you're up and awake now.
And that's Aurelion Sol ult being used in the mid lane. He did get a couple of stacks for it, I think, but not going to be too great. Kind of a waste. Quality player dodged it very well. And I guess eyes on this bot lane, level 6 soon. Asol moving towards this top side, but nothing really going to happen.
Yeah, the bot lane, unfortunately, is very neutral. It's not going anywhere. One of these laners have to pull the trigger, because once that happens, it's going to be a humongous payday for that bot lane who decides to engage.
Yeah, I think it's really unfortunate. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was just going to say, I think it's really unfortunate that Vexrax burned his flash early, right? Like, he tried to get a kill in that mid lane, but now Milio's going to be level 6 by the time he has flash back up. The engage really isn't possible. I mean, maybe they have a small window here, but MF has no mana. I mean, it's just a bit unfortunate that Leona can't get anything done early in the spot side before Milio gets ult.
That is very true, because right now, Inigo Montoya?
Yeah, surely he doesn't do exactly what he did in the last 2 times in the game before. Yeah, he's not able to get the kill. Basting a little bit more used to this matchup now. And once again, it's just 2 top laners beating on each other.
Glad to see that Basting decided to actually go tank items early instead of a Oblivion Orb. So that means that he will be able to box with Inigo Montoya a lot better than deny him healing. Because in my understanding, early denial of healing is not as important as it is in the mid to late game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Basting looking a little bit more comfortable in this lane now that he's played it once. Center's looking for an engage on to Myers. Myers has to flash away, and the Milio ult comes out. Or, sorry, not the Milio ult. The Milio is here, and it looks like an engage onto Leona. Vexrax has the flash away, but he's not going to get away. Oh, actually, he will. The Q from Maokai nearly saves him. Aurelion's ult picks up the kill, though. Lee Sinner's trying to engage. He has the ultimate out. Good MF ult into the backline, and Maokai's just in Narnia. The kill goes over onto the Star Dragon, and Lucky Field is trying to get out. He won't be able to, however. Helix Bear, sorry, Hello Bear, sorry. Very, very low. Flash work from quality player. Won't be able to find anything for now. Perky is here. It has to be a flash away from Milio, and a really, really good fight coming out from the winning formula.
That is exactly what I love to see. On the side of MYNT, Maokai did exactly what his job was. You will stay still for 5 to 10 seconds while my carries beat you senselessly. And they managed to get a kill after a little bit of misplays here and there. Maokai probably miscommunicating, hey, do I take the kill? Do I give the kill? But ultimately they were able to give the kill, and then Mint kind of overreached with with the Aurelion Soul walking straight into Oriana Shockwave. So right now we're 3-1. So Mint had a good idea of engaging. They just went a little too far, but nothing they can't come back from. It's only a 2K difference and one dragon difference with the next dragon coming up in a minute. So we do have the potential for Mint to get the second dragon and kind of stay in the game.
Yeah, I think also very important is the fact that Myers didn't die, right? He had to burn the flash. I think Ghost might have been burned in that fight as well, but Jinx is still alive and still keeping up in CS relatively. Not going to be too upset about the turn of events in that situation. Aurelion Sol obviously slightly behind, but is able to stack up passively with other things, right? Got that kill in that fight, got some stacks, and realistically, he's just a stacking champion, so doesn't really mind if he's too behind on levels or XP, or gold. On the top side, Inigo Montoya able to find an assist onto the Zac, and I don't think that Basting has any way out of this one. It should just be a kill over to Anthony. Nope, it looks like Inigo Montoya will pick that one up for himself. Volibear in the area in this bot side. Didn't quite have ultimate available, but now he does! And Myers doesn't have a life available for himself. A TP in from Quality Player and a counter TP coming out from the side of Anthony. This Star Dragon is absolutely everywhere on the map right now. Picks up a kill in the bot lane after getting a kill in the top lane and gets a double as well. Really, really good stuff coming out from Anthony. Overall, a pretty even trade between the two teams, though.
That is an amazing amount of reaction time from Anthony. Going
Is he
straight
able to look
top,
for more?
Kid.
Quality Player just dies here, I think. The Star Dragon is too strong. That's a shutdown. That's 3 kills in about 2 seconds. This guy is an absolute monster.
They should have ran faster than that. That is a flying dragon. That you cannot stand in his.
Oh, yeah, of course. PC problems. No. It is Inigo Montoya who did DC, so don't think that that's a unsportsmanlike DC coming out from the side of the winning formula, but it does look bad, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, this is exactly what they wanted. I was saying 2 late game champions. Hopefully something happens that they don't fall behind. And what do we know? Aurelion Sol 4-2 at 11 minutes. You know, of course, Oriana is 3-1 at 89 CS, but we're asking here, who really benefits from having a really good lead? You know, getting these resources early. It's most likely the late game champ.
Yeah, 100%, right? Like, obviously, Quality Player will be able to make things happen once he gets a couple more items with that gold that he just accrued upon himself. But yeah, I definitely feel like this Dragon is going to make a massive impact in this game. Has a really good lead in the early stages. Obviously, can get CS later on. It is kind of about dealing with Anthony, but at this point, he might be a little bit out of control. I think eyes on Myers for the side of the winning formula, making sure that he's still not able to activate himself, and maybe there's only one carry threat from the side of MYNT, because if both get off the ground, it becomes very, very difficult.
Right now, Quality Player has to do what Anthony did. He has to take his resources and go to the side lanes. Right now, Zac is getting baited into random fights, and unfortunately, he's losing every single one of them. You know, give the guy some advantage, get some pressure on the top lane, go bot, get MF more kills, give Leona some tanky items. Because if Quality doesn't do any sort of side lane, travel, he's just gonna keep losing little by little until the dragon's just R'ing you to death.
Yeah, it's definitely true. And I guess what we can look at now that we have a little bit of time to pause, right? We can just kind of look at everything on our screens and digest it. 1,000 gold lead for the side of the winning formula for now, right? Obviously, that could develop further when plates go over or when more kills go over, right? Like you can already see Aurelion Sol pushing down on this mid lane, might be able to get a plate for himself. But otherwise, on the map, grubs are available. Cloud's Dragon is available. That would be the second dragon in Mint's pocket if they're able to secure it. Obviously, that Oriana is off the map. I think eyes on where Anthony ends up moving after he gets his reset in. Now that Inigo Montoya has reconnected, definitely keep your eyes peeled on what neutral objectives each of these teams go for, because I feel like it will have a lasting impact on the game. Obviously, it will, but like a very big one.
So far, it's not detrimental enough where the game goes out of control. There's neutral objectives to fight over, like you said. It's only one guy that's really fed. You know, hitting you with the solo queue lingo. It's just one guy that's fed. You know, just shut them down, and the whole team crumbles. But we're gonna see if that's the truth, because at this moment in time,
Yeah, it's just the spectator delay for the delay. Yeah, you know, Riot Games is a funny company.
I love it.
Yeah,
The
I do too.
Lightception.
I mean, we've been playing it for too long to not love it, you know. But Perky also does have a lead, 300 gold on his head, so that guy's worth 600 if he does end up dying. I feel like that's important as well. Keep your eyes on where this MF is positioning these fights. If the bullet time is able to get some downtime onto the enemy targets. Okay, was that was a hex flash? Yeah, that was a hex flash.
I'm really hoping that one of these teams gets to actually execute on their team comp, because right now the winning formula has not really done a cohesive execution of their wombo. It's been delay ult after one ult after the other, so they're not really effectively using the damage that they're capable of doing. And you know, if they keep doing that, MYNT is just going to be able to survive all these different fights, just because they're taking the damage a little at a time versus being exploded.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, MYNT maybe doing a good job of spreading out their members, right? Maybe it's hard to get a 4-man Orianna Shockwave because of the positioning that they've had. I think that's another thing to keep an eye on as this game progresses. Jinx Rocket trying to steal something, actually stole a grub. Really well played from Myers there to be able to pick one back. Obviously, that means that 6 grubs is instantly denied from the side of the winning formula. That's massive, actually.
I'm very happy that Lee Sinners was nice enough to donate it over to the winning to MYNT. You know, gotta keep it even, right?
Yeah, of course, gotta keep it even. And it looks like an engage will be trying to keep it even in this bot lane. Myers is gonna get CC'd, but will he be able to get out? Millia ult does go through, and there's no more follow-up, I have to assume. A really good disengage coming out from Hello Bear. And obviously, Ghost expended from Myers, but no deaths going over. That's the best you can make of that scenario.
Jinx had to blow one summoner spell. Luckily, she has the other one coming up, so she still has options to escape. But Emilio had to blow his heal, and he still has flash coming up, so the survivability is still high, but the sustain will not be there anymore. So, wait a minute.
Facing?
Yep.
Oh,
flash.
Okay, flash forward. Lucky Field is going to be able to get that kill secured for his top laner. And it's once again MYNT kind of running the map at the moment. They get a kill towards the top side when a kill is obviously attempted in the bottom side. I guess eyes here on Hello Bear. Is he just going to die? He has flash available, but I'm not sure it's going to secure his safety. He doesn't have ultimate available, and Listeners will just secure that kill. A flash away from Perky in this scenario will get him to safety. Myers is under threat, and it should be a kill going the way of Perky. Jinx nearly got one back, but that is 2 more kills going the way of the winning formula, as I just mentioned that they were maybe not being as active on the map as they should have been.
Aurelion Sol has a very big job this game. He has to put his team on a backpack and ensure that they get across the finish line, because currently he is the only member of MYNT
Oh no!
that is.
And it doesn't look like that's going to be a problem. Anthony absolutely popping off in the mid lane, able to secure a little bit more Stardust to his name. 5-2 on this dragon. This guy is massive.
Anthony has to do it to 4 more people, and then we can start talking about MYNT being in the game. But impressively enough, he's able to keep quality player in check, getting those nice little fancy footworks with the ults and the flashes. I'm loving it. If he's able to keep consistently doing this and not give up any other resources to the opposite team, MYNT may very well just become big walls for the dragon to sit behind and queue everyone.
Yeah, and I mean, if anything, right, Anthony's showing that there's a reason he's on the main roster. There's a reason that he's not the substitute mid laner. Definitely coming up strong when his team needs him. 5-2 in this early game on a late game champion. Inigo Montoya also ahead in this top side on the Tom Kench. If they pair up, I mean, there is a reality where this Tom Kench and Aesel are able to make really cool things happen for the side of MYNT. But I'm not sure at what point they're actually able to move into these team fights. Maybe next Dragon, it's in about 1:20. Looks like both teams do want to fight it.
So far, the MYNT team has a very good amount of vision coverage, has a pink in the Dragon Pit, so if anything, they're the ones that be able to get the Dragon, unless the winning formula decide to, at this point in time, push into the river and start taking control, because 1 minute from now, it's probably going to be too late. Especially now that, yep, there he goes.
Aesel on the top side. Yep. Anthony looking for something, but Basting's a hard champion to get on top of. Zach is able to E out, and that's a lot of resources expended. I mean, both members, Inigo Montoya and Anthony, do have TP, so they might just be able to make it towards this dragon in time, but it is a lot of resources expended towards that top side.
Yep, that revealing themselves to be on top side just gave the winning formula all the confidence they needed to go ahead and push in, regardless of the amount of vision there is. Because at this moment in time, it's looking like MYNT may very well have to go through a very hard.
Yeah, big choke, and
there it
Anthony
is.
gets
That's
flashed
exactly
on.
what I'm
The
talking about.
Volibear finds the engage, and the shockwave might just be enough. The Bear gets the 800 gold shutdown. Luckyfield caught in the middle of 3 members up the side of the winning formula. Will he just end up getting deleted? He has so much sustain. He's actually out, and Inigo Montoya in the backline just ate the MF. Perky is able to get away for now, but it's not enough. The Catfish licks her to death. Vexrax able to frontline for now. Basting trying to get some sort of engage onto Myers, and he will be able to disengage. Overall, a 2-for-1, but a really large, 2 very, very important members of the side of MYNT taken down.
Like
Engage
I said,
coming out from
MYNT-
Basting.
oh,
TP as well. TP back from Anthony. The Dragon's not actually dead yet. Can Luckyfield actually get the Dragon Smite? He's in the pit. He actually doesn't get it. Volibear actually secures it. Lee Sinner's doing well for his team, but 2 members will fall for their troubles. And once again, it's MYNT managing to get something back from the jaws of defeat.
done on the side of Lee Sinners to secure that with 0 smite. That was a please League gods help me out here type of moment.
Yeah, miracle
Because
play.
my god, the whole opposite team was in that pit with him.
And obviously the dragon had already died once, or at least one of the dragons had already died once in that fight, but the fight just extended and went on for so long that Anthony was able to get that reset, able to TP. And I feel like that's exactly what you were mentioning, is the issue with the winning formulas draft. If they're not able to find the Wombo combo, if they're not able to kill literally everyone on the enemy team with their abilities, if the fight gets drawn out, it does look very, very difficult for them to be able to fight it.
As I was saying before, when they were going into this, I'm liking this positioning. Okay, threaten to dive, just pretending. Oh, no, it is the dive.
Yeah, but the Leona's the only target. The skies descend onto Vexrax, and I think he may just be taken to the grave. The kill goes over to the Maokai. Jinx does secure the turret. Basting under threat as well on this top side. I don't think there's going to be much that gets secured from this. Inigo Montoya doesn't have ultimate available anymore. Cute goes slightly wide. Basting just able to disengage. But yeah, a kill, a turret gone over. Going to be really happy. MYNT able to still apply pressure even though they lost a little bit of a fight earlier on.
I'm loving this vision bot side. That was a very communicated, planned dive. They did the vision. They knew exactly where everyone could have been, should have been, and they pushed for that advantage on the dive. And they came out with a kill and a turret. That is the perfect way to extend your lead, and they couldn't have done it better.
Yeah, it's good to see. Obviously, it's a little bit of a scrappy game, you know, like 20 kills, 20 minutes, that's at least a kill a minute if you were to divide it that way. It's a little bit of a scrappy one, but good to see that there is some strategy coming out between these two teams despite it all. Baron is spawning now, and speaking of strategy, Basting is under threat in this top side. Anthony trying to get something done, maybe secure this turret with his team. A lot of members of the side of MYNT moving up towards here. Oriana not in the area, and I think it is just going to be a tier 1 conceded.
I'm very happy that Anthony and Inigo Montoya are constantly engaging the top lane, because their goal is just to take Basting's E, and they're using every resource in their pocket to do that. And I'm not sure if that's a power play or they just want to make sure that he has no options to get out. But you know, it's all about the message. You know, you will never have your E up with us around. That's what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, and it's important, right? Because if if Zach is able to E into the backline, it's a little bit difficult. Basting, once again, probably gonna have to burn E. Yep. Like you were mentioning, a little bit of an ego flex coming out from Anthony. Oh, the Super Mega Death Rocket. Ooh, barely misses.
Oh.
Squeaks by. Basting able to survive that one.
Beautiful. Do you see? And even though it may be a joke and it may not be, precisely, you are playing into the guy's head. He knows that every time one of those champions get near, he has to slingshot out. And it's an unfortunate thing, but, you know, not to give this team that's pulling ahead any more resources, like a kill. Well, okay. I see Leona.
We can't kill Leona here. Surely we can't kill Leona here. The skies descend into the backline, and Vexrax maybe just has to disengage. It might just be a little bit of pressure applied to be able to secure this tier 1. They are hitting it for now, but Lee Sinner's finding the counter engage, the Volibear ult, the Shockwave, and it is the Star Dragon actually just living everything. Lee Sinners is low. One more auto should do it, and Myers is able to get the kill, gets excited. That's one kill going the way of Mint. Will they be able to secure any more? Jinx into the backline. Myers actually gets CC'd by the Leona, but it's a kill going over 1-for-1 for now. Inigo Montoya able to get luckified out of this situation, but the turret should fall. And it is a 1-for-1, but a turret conceded. Sorry, 1-for-2 and a turret conceded. Mint winning out yet again.
I am shocked that the trend with the Jinx players in this game is consistent. The moment Get Excited comes out, they want to be melee range of their target. Jokes aside, that was a very well done, a very aggressive engage by the side of Mint. You dropped all your ults to make sure that the other team understands that you cannot stand near this turret. It is ours. And then the moment they stepped up, Mint took advantage. And I'm loving that. Even though the Maokai is 1 and 2, he is still useful. Point and click CC, R, everything possible to make people stand still for a couple seconds. So far so good. If they keep that consistent, the Wombo combo is just going to be outdone.
This is an interesting position here for Myers. He's kind of dislocated from his team. He's able to walk around. It should be okay, but that tier 1 is under threat. A lot of posturing coming out from these two teams. Obviously, Mint do want to be able to secure Dragon Soul point. Ocean Soul isn't the most influential soul in the game, but it's decent, and it looks like an engage coming out from Lee Sinners. It is the winning formula trying to fight this one, but the Skies Descend does find 2. Zach into the back line, knocking up multiple members. Myers is gonna be able to, his free hit though. The Tom
There it
dead.
is.
Lucky Find finds an engage, actually able to survive for a little bit longer, but Myers isn't quite excited. Zach passive doesn't give you your passive, Myers. You have to disengage, and it will be a kill, 2 kills actually, and a dragon going the way of the winning formula.
There it was. The winning formula did exactly what their name says. They found the formula, the execution, the math. The Orianna held her shockwave at the very last second and got a beautiful pull on nearly the whole Mint team. And that is what got them ahead in that dragon fight. They just have to do it several more times before we can comfortably say that the winning formula can get a game off of this. But so far, that was exactly what we needed to see.
Yeah, and it's good to see it, right? Obviously, we were talking about it. We were hounding them for it throughout the multiple stages of this game. But now that it is 2 dragons, nearly even gold on each side, nearly even kills as well, this game is evening out as much as it possibly can. Something else we can look at, I guess, is the fact that, as you're mentioning, the winning formula, their winning formula for this game is these team fights, finding massive Oriental shockwaves, massive engages from the Zac and the Volibear, obviously with that Misfortune ultimate to follow up. That all needs to happen, right, in these team fights. And as the game gets later, Anthony is able to just operate on his own. Myers, if she gets excited, this Jinx absolutely pops off in these fights. It's a little bit less dependent on landing all of your abilities. So the winning formula playing on a knife's edge at this point.
Whoa, that is unfortunate. Orianna losing her shockwave there. So that means that if the Mint team wanted to, Baron could very well be an option. Yep. Inigo Montoya does have TP, so look at that. They're pinging it. They really are thinking hard about it. We're going to see if they're going to be able to get away with it. Unfortunately, they did see the spies, so...
Yeah, but they're all moving in.
Hopefully, yep, here it comes.
I mean, there's a chance for sure, right? Asol just melts these.
We have here, Inigo Montoya is trying to decide whether or not he wants to go up or stay in lane, but it's looking like so far he may just go ahead and just send a message to the Zac here.
Yeah, Inigo Montoya is still going to win out in this 1v1 against Basting. Obviously good that he's winning the minigame as well, picking up the blobs before Zac can. Or at least a couple of them. And will be Basting disengaging. But that pressure means that it is going to be an early TP from Inigo Montoya if he needs to. Like you mentioned, a lot of pressure on this Baron with that Orianna Shockwave still on cooldown.
You know, we're in this part of the game where communication is key. Trust is key. When a shot call is made, you have to go. Quality player has 3 targets he can put the ball on. 3 targets, but he has to choose the right target. Which one is able to get in the most perfect position to be able to grab the entire Mint team? and he has to think, and he has to communicate, and he has to execute. It all comes down to quality player finding, and air quotes, the perfect shockwave.
And I think he might have the opportunity to, as the blue ward does spawn down onto this Baron. The winning formula very aware that this Baron has been sorted up. Able to get MYNT off of it for now. The TP comes out from Inigo Montoya, and I don't think MYNT know just yet. He is actually able to find some sort of engage, but there's not going to be any more follow-up from his team. The Mackley ultimate just goes slightly short. And although it was a good idea, a good coordination, a good effort from MYNT, it won't be anything going their way.
That's unfortunate. The winning formula managed to take Mendigo Montoya's TP and Maokai's ult. So now, if
They're
the
just starting
winning
it.
formula wants to fight back, well, okay. This is their
Trying to
time
find some
to
sort
do
of
it.
engage. A lot of poke coming out from Inigo Montoya. It's a hard fight, but the Sky's Descent is massive. It finds a knock up onto the Volibear. Lee Sinners on the disengage. The engage coming out from Tom Genshin to the backline. Inigo Montoya finding something. It is Lee Sinners getting very low. The Ace into the backline, but it's a massive shockwave coming out from Quality Player. And he's able to find more damage onto Myers. It's a kill for Perky. And it will be the fight going the way of the winning formula. They find their winning formula here. The Ace is massive, though. You have to play well. He does end up going down. Perky has a huge front line for himself. Inigo Montoya not able to get the damage he needs to. And it will be him going down surely. He is so tanky, but a clean sweep. Not quite an ace coming out from the winning formula, and it should be a Baron on the cards.
That right there is exactly what we are talking about, right there. Quality player finding the perfect shockwave, and his team was engaging again and again, but he waited, he held it, and boom, this is the result. Managed to take nearly the whole MYNT team, and Baron is surprised. So I'm very excited, and we're hoping we don't see a rocket come towards Perky. Okay, good.
Yeah, that would have been scary.
So now the winning formula just have to keep trusting whoever is making these calls. Just follow and go. Don't question it. The ball will be your guiding light.
Yeah, and it has been in these last few fights. That Quality Player. No summoners available now. Doesn't have the flash. A little bit less safety available to him. Leona probably has that Night's Out on the Jinx as well, so going to be a little bit harder to operate in these fights. Interesting build coming out from MF. She's quite squishy as well with the lethality build here. It's going to be difficult keeping both of your carries alive. We'll have to see how this Dragon fight plays out. Baron buff is available for MYNT. Sorry, for the winning formula. MYNT have kind of an uphill battle to fight here. It is 3,000 HP on the Dragon. It will go down to Lee Sinners. And the disengage comes out. Vexrax just trying to drop that Solar Flare to disengage for his team. Zach is in the area as well, too. Okay, ambitious flash forward from Lucky Field. Doesn't find anything. And it is an easy walk away coming out from the way of from the side of the winning formula.
That was, I don't know what to make of that. That was an interesting
Vexrax?
game. Whoa!
A little bit of an overstep, has the flash away, and Zach actually into the back line. It's a huge MF ultimate. Perky finds two. Will he be able to find a third? He is stuck in the catfish's mouth, but it doesn't freaking matter. Oriana finds a shockwave onto one, and that's all it takes. Two more members dead. It's nearly an ace. Lucky Field, will you end up going down as well? If you do, it could mean the game. Perky knows he can sniff it out. He's looking for the tree. He gets the kill. A clean ace going the way of the winning formula, and they found their winning formula in Game 2 of this best-of-5 series.
Not one, not two, but three ults on top of the targets they needed to hit. And that's exactly what won them the game. My god. MF ult, Oriana ult, and the Zac slingshotting his body straight to victory.
Insanely well played from the side of the winning formula. We definitely saw what these two teams have to bring in this series, right? We were mentioning how it might be a little bit of a banger series. We were mentioning how it might be a little bit of a banger game. I was even mentioning that the winning formula showed maybe what their worst looks like in that last game, and their best definitely is enough, right? So go back to the drawing board for MYNT Gaming, figure out what you need to change for this next draft, because that made it look like the winning formula is going to bring this to a 3-1.
I hope this is a lesson to both teams. Like you said earlier, right before the game started, everyone was nearly on their comfort picks. And this is what happened. The whole game was explosive. It could have gone either way. So now we have to have strategic thinking even before the game starts. Do we allow the team to continue to have their comfort picks and we have an answer for it, or do we have to snatch them away again and hopefully we end up better before than it was these other games?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of thinking going on backstage for these two teams, I'm sure. The winning formula obviously figured it out, but it was a little bit of a not so stable one. You know, Mint Gaming had a couple of leads. I was really scared that Anthony on that Star Dragon was going to make a massive impact once the game got any later, but the winning formula put the pedal to the metal and were able to end that game I think, 25 minutes, maybe pre 30 minutes. But exactly where they needed to for that Oriana to be as powerful as she could be, the MF to be able to pop off in these team fights, and that Jinx and Aurelia still not quite to come online. Really good stuff coming out from them. And once again, it shows that both of these two teams are very, very capable of winning these team fights when they have the tools they need, and especially capable of ending these games early if necessary.
We'll see if they have what it takes to come up with something clever, something special. Because right now, basic, straightforward is key, and it won the winning formula of the game quite well. I'm not gonna say cleanly, but it won them securely when they did the executions correctly.
Mm-hmm. Definitely did. Good stuff from quality player on that Oriana. We'll have to see if it does get banned away in this next draft, but we won't have it just quite yet. We're going to go to a short break, guys, to watch this game 3 between Mint Gaming and the Winning Formula's best of 5 series, the first best of 5 here in Risen Dominate Spring Season's quarterfinals for 2024. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short break.
You're too codependent. You hate all of my
Hey guys, welcome back. We're here already. We were trolling a little bit, but we are back finally here at the caster desk for Game 3. I'm Drake, once again joined by Ketzel here for Game 3 between the Winning Formula and Mint Gaming. The Winning Formula just won. Mint Gaming won the first game. We'll have to see what that spills for this next draft. I'm not quite sure which one is on which side yet, but Ketzel, are we excited to see this Game 3 draft?
My God, I've seen so many ideas fly left and right with these two teams. I'm hoping they're gonna grab something out of their goodie bag and just flip this whole game on their head.
They've definitely shown that they can, right? These two teams choosing very unorthodox things. We obviously saw Mint Gaming as well, not having the same mid laner for both games. Maybe we see a little bit of a mid lane swap again for here in Game 3. Maybe that was their issue. My opinion, definitely not, right? We saw Anthony absolutely pop off on that Aurelion Soul. But as we get into draft, it does look like Mint will be on that blue side, the Winning Formula on the red side. Viego is going to be the first ban, Ari to follow up. Not really wanting to change anything up. Do you think the Xin is a good idea here for the third one again, or do you think they maybe offer something else?
I mean, if they want to try to limit the amount of early game engages that they can get, Jin Shao has to go. It's one of the most perfect. Oh, what
They
is it?
hate the Zac, bro. They are upset about that Zac.
I mean, and the Tom Kench too. They really don't want a repeat of
Fair
these
enough,
last
bro.
two
To be fair,
games.
these top laners are just traumatized. They're like, please get me out of the pits. Like we've been fighting in World War II for the past two separate wars. Like get us in something else. It looks like they will be getting a little bit of a different matchup in that top side. Volibear is going to be picked up, however, and that's exactly what we saw in the last game and the game before. So a little bit of normalcy still.
Volibear might be a contested pick if he continues to be picked. Both team either have to ban it or someone's gonna take it, and he's gonna be played somewhere. But it's looking like he's gonna be staying in these next couple of games if we get to 4 to 5 games.
Speaking of stuff staying, looks like Oriana has picked up Wukong to boot, and we were talking about the winning formula going with that Wombo combo again. This is as Wombo combo as it gets between mid and jungle.
Absolutely. We just need a couple of more engages, and Oriana will have a plethora of options to deliver the ball to. It's just the moment she whips, they have to do a tactical retreat, or it might be a Dunzo fight.
Kalista got through though, and because that Tom Kench ban came out from the winning formula, Kalista gets through the first banning phases. Looks like Mint will pick it up. Very confident to have that on their side. Curious what they're going to pair it with. I believe Mint's support plays a lot of Renata. Vagar is going to be hovered. I'm not sure if that's directly picked up. That'd be an interesting one.
Another late game champ. They're really putting their baskets in the
Way.
way.
Okay. Changing it up. Like to see it.
I love it. I love it. A man of a 10,000 spells. We're gonna see if that execution actually gets to be pulled off because his damage is very high if done correctly. And MF picked up again for the winning formula. Like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's true. And I mean, like Leona, you can substitute with a lot of different things, right? You can substitute it with Recon, you can substitute it with literally any other engaged Alistar, right? Like, there's so many options. Nautilus is still up for both of these two teams as well. So opting for that MF, that champion that's very undeniably irreplaceable with a CC ultimate. Sorry, not a CC ultimate, a AoE ultimate. That not many ADCs out there with one. So good to see that they do pick it up. Renata is going to get banned away by Mint, so the winning formula won't be able to get that one for themselves to add to the combination. I'm curious to see what ends up being added to the winning formula for their next pick on the red side. Maybe a blind top lane, some sort of top lane tank champion, I would have to assume.
They would really have to think hard about what type of champs they want in this game now because they have the damage, they have a little bit of engage, the bruiser. Now, what are they going to pick to stop the other team? You know, when Wahlberg goes in, will they have the options to boot him away? When Kalista starts dancing like crazy, just throwing spears left and right, will they have the CC to stop her? You know, we want to make sure that whatever the winning formula picks, it does multiple jobs.
Shot. There's no shot it's Riven. I mean, that you said multiple jobs. I don't think that's what you were talking about. I'm going to be honest.
I mean, I can't continue if they continue to hover it.
Do you have things to say? No.
There we go. Much better. Better.
Tanky Yasuo. Yeah, good to see.
Tanky, yeah. That's perfect. Another target. So, again, now they have options to push out the engagers. You know, if Volibear goes in, if Urgot comes into the game,
I
that
wouldn't be
would be
surprised. To be
quite
fair,
the
both of these
interesting
top
one.
laners play Urgot. They're both Urgot enjoyers, connoisseurs, if you will.
Connoisseur, I love me good Urgot. You know, I was in love with the guy before they did the changes, and I'm still in love with him now. And there it is. Now we have our top lane matchup. This is amazing, amazing. Hopefully, again, to have another option to have something to boot away this Urgot, boot away this Volibear. Because right now, all I'm seeing is they engage and they can just stare at the bear, and the crab guy come right at them.
Yeah, it's a bit scary, honestly. The Urgot and Volibear combination looks like Zyra will get picked up as well by Mint. Ash is hovered. That's a strong pick for the side of the winning formula. I'm not sure how well it works with what they have. I guess it does supply pick, right? It's what you were talking about with Kasante giving that disengage. Maybe you want pick now because Wukong Oriana Ball isn't quite enough to be able to secure a kill onto one member. Ash would do very well at securing that. It will be Nautilus, however. I like that a
Aha!
lot better. I'm going to be honest.
The only people they got to worry about are the ones in front of them. Unfortunately, Hui may not be an option because the man can, you know, man's literally Xerath, just more handsome. You know, they're both artillery
Yeah,
mages. They're
yeah,
both artillery mages. So
bro's sending spells from Narnia. That's for sure. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, like you said, Hui is definitely an execution-based champion. If he's not able to really make sure that he's using his spells correctly at the right times, it does get a little bit lackluster, for lack of a better word. But I think pretty proficient is Anthony on this way. Should be good to see. Urgot is another comfortable champion for the side of Mint. I feel like Mint indexing fully into comfort in this game, it could prove really, really valuable for them in the team fights.
right now, Mint has a very interesting comp to execute. What I'm seeing
Yeah.
here is if they get anybody low enough, they're well within range for Urgot, Callista, and Hui to get. But again, they got to get past the Wombo combo. If the ball is able to drop, Mint has a lot to work. It has an uphill battle. Excuse me. But you know, like you said, Hui is execution champion, but so is, you know, killing somebody like 3 screens away. That takes skill. You know,
Hmm.
blind Urgot ult. I'm waiting for it. But
Yeah.
hopefully they can do what they got. They can use what they got with this comp, and they can survive the Wombo. It's been a while since I've seen a Cassante. I'm very excited about that. You know, he was OP broken here and there, but now that they kind of toned down on the rapid speeds of his spell execution, it should be a little bit more fair. But if the Urgot pops off, then you know that man's a literal tank.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult, right? And obviously we are very aware of the way that these two top laners play, right? We know that they like to scrap. We know that there's going to be some situations going up in that top lane between Based and Montoya. It's going to be a very interesting matchup to see Cassante versus Urgot. They are both like obviously Cassante has to walk up melee range to Urgot in this lane. I feel like it's going to be super scrappy, super fight oriented, and Volibear and Wukong might even be opting to move up there. It's very difficult if I'm looking for these two teams where they want to focus in the early game. Obviously, Wukong a little bit better post 6, so maybe just wants to farm. But Misfortune Nautilus obviously going to struggle with Zyra Callista in the early stages. It's a hard game to read.
Absolutely. Back to the Wukong, you know, he does well, you know, post level 6, more damage, has the perfect amount of CC with the ult and the damage, the HP percent damage that is on the ult.
Hmm.
You know, the Wukong is more than capable of being just as useful as the Volibear. You know, even though he may not provide the CC, he will be able to provide the good amount of damage necessary to either, you know, put that pressure on the opponent or even get kills.
Hmm.
So hopefully he's able to balance farming and giving the proper amount of pressure to his team.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I can see Wukong struggling with in this game. Early game prowess, I would give it to the warning formula, right? Like obviously Wukong has decent base damage early. Misfortune does quite a bit. Nautilus has a lot of CC for them to follow up on skirmishes. Cassante, maybe not as much as the Urgot. Maybe the top side isn't where you want to focus if you're trying to actually win out in these early game fights. So maybe it will be a bot lane focus for this team. Oriana isn't too mad about trying to shove into Hwei and move as well. So maybe it will be early game dragons, the focus of the winning formula, and Mint moving towards those grubs. I personally think grubs are less influential as dragon, but obviously we'll have to see as it plays out on our screens once we finally get onto this rift.
Hopefully, they're able to execute exactly what they're planning for. No mistakes, no nothing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no mistakes, no nothing. Definitely what we know these two teams for. We know them for not causing any sort of scrap or any sort of mistakes at all. But yeah, we will be right back after a short break, guys. You guys don't go anywhere, and we'll see you guys on the Rift. All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to Summoner's Rift here for Game 3 of this battle between these two teams, Mint Gaming and the Winning Formula. The Winning Formula is now going to be on our right side, Mint Gaming on our left. My name is Drake. I'm once again joined by Ketzel. Ketzel, how we feeling? Do these teams look pretty standard to you? It looks like it's going to be a little bit of a scuffle.
Man, I love it. They did exactly what I hoped they did. Oh, wait a minute. They saw each other. Do we dance? Do we say hello? No,
the
here comes the
Nautilus,
Nautilus.
it found its way into Inigo Montoya, and Inigo Montoya has to flash away, but the Nautilus will not. He will actually go down. First blood to the Callista Myers, looking for more. Will he be able to find anything? Basting should be able to find his way out. The Volibear, he actually lands the flash away from Perky, and it's actually another kill going the way of Hello Bear. And it's just so many kills going the way of Mint Gaming. So many flashes held from the side of the winning formula. So much disrespect.
I am very scared now for the winning formula. They have given away not just skills, but also spells. And right now, MF has no spells on the bot lane, so she has to be careful for the next 3 to 5 minutes, or else the 2-kill Callista will come for her. And already has both components for Berserker Greaves and a longsword. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this Callista's a monster. I guess the only saving grace is the fact that Berkey realistically should be XP up, but XP up is not going to be the case for a quality player in this mid lane. Anthony poking out this Orianna so much because of what happened in this early game as well. It looks so brutal for the side of the winning formula to start this game. And I'm not sure we talked about late game versus early game prowess for these two teams, but it looks pretty evenly spread. So losing out in the early game, it doesn't bode very well.
Both teams are more than capable of translating. My goodness, both teams are very capable of translating early and late game damage. So it all depends on who gets to outplay who first. Because right now, Myers is in the lead. All he has to do is continue going even with the MF, and he will forever be on the same resource. And right, Volibear.
Field? What is going on with this guy, man? The bear has to leave. Wukong's in the area. Could get a little bit dicey in this mid lane. Wukong finds his way into Hui. Anthony. Okay, we'll be safe for now. But yeah, a little bit dicey. Lucky Field as well. Gonna get flashed on by Lee Sinners. Lee Sinners won't be able to find any follow-up damage, but he might be able to secure himself the Raptors. Hui is moving in. He doesn't have mid lane to back him up. Quality players in base. The TP comes out. Volibear actually secures a lot of the Raptors with his E. This actually could prove dicey for Anthony. He has flash available. Lee Sinners able to W over the wall. And what can I say? It's a little bit of a scrap.
That was very interesting. Right now, in my head, the winning formula are trying their best to get those resources that they gave away back. They want to be even. Because right now, being in this position is the last thing they want to be. And, you know, Lee Sinners was going to do everything possible for that kill. And unfortunately, he had to settle for the creeps. But I don't know. Maybe it could have been more chat and just get a double kill off the Volibear in the way, you know?
Doing? This just surely is never a kill if Inigo Montoya is a human able to get out. And this is exactly what we were worried about with the Wukong. Obviously, he doesn't have early game potential, right? He's going to fall so far behind in the XP department. Volibear just picking up free camps in his jungle. MF is moving in to defend. Nautilus in the area as well. But yeah, how are they going to defend it? Volibear is just going to get the blue buff. Nautilus looking in the mid lane, though. Anthony might get punished for what this Volibear is doing. Anthony moving towards his jungler, though. Lucky Field able to back him up. The flash away from Orianna, and it's another summoner being expended from the side of the winning formula.
That was quite interesting, that flash. I don't know why. Maybe I'm missing something there, but almost, the winning formula almost was able to get a clean comeback. Unfortunately, I think they were kind of scrambled with their communication. Kind of didn't know exactly what they wanted to do there, especially with the Nautilus walking away and the Orianna standing right next to him.
It's a bit iffy. I'm surprised to see Hex Flash on Liquefied Volibear as well. We'll have to see whether that has any sort of effect in the future fights. Dragon is going to get started up by the side of Mint Gaming, and it does look like they just have so much early game pressure here already.
Oh man, and that is the problem with both teams having options to invade level 1. They just have that itch that they have to go in and see what happens. And unfortunately, the winning formula were the ones on the bad flip of that coin.
Yeah, for now at least, they did frick around and they did find out. But we'll find out if they do end up losing this game because of it. It's not the end of the world, right? They are still able to find avenues back in. They need their ultimates to really function with their wombo combinations that we were talking about. So at least for now, waiting till Lee Sinners gets ultimate, quality player gets that shockwave, and Perky maybe is able to move in as well with that bullet time. Maybe we will see an entirely different team coming out from the winning formula, but for now, it is going to be MYNT Gaming running the map and taking every neutral objective in the face of the winning formula.
As long as the winning formula can keep their cool and not do anything risky, because it looks like they gave a lot of resources to maybe kills, to maybe dives, but as long as they keep their cool and keep consistent and choose the right decisions on whether or not to give or to take resources, they should be fine. Because trying to go even and force it is probably not going to work well.
I definitely agree. And even now, we see Luckified hasn't gotten off the map yet. It's kind of crazy, but still no items for this Volibear, no items for the Urgot either. And when you're looking at the winning formula, they're buying items just to keep up. So we'll have to see what actually ends up occurring once MYNT have those items in their back pockets, when they're able to fight these fights on a head footing, right? This Callisto obviously still needs to back to buy more items as well. I'm really, really curious to see what happens once MYNT actually start activating their gold leads.
I'm sure Luckified was very cocky. It's like, I'm just gonna finish as many jungles, many camps as I can, and then do it twice, and then do Wukong's jungle. He's probably gonna come back with Bomby Cinder and full boots.
Can they win this 2v1?
Oh, look at this.
I mean, Inigo Montoya does get engaged on by Basting, but Basting takes him to Pound Town into the river, and Basting will win this 1v1, but Inigo Montoya has his jungler to back him up, and the Urgot ult hasn't quite come out. It should be there soon. Luckified trying to find some sort of engage on Basting, and he's actually just going to walk away for free. We are playing Cassante. It is what it is.
That Cassante was just beaten on the crab. The crab was lucky he had a flash, because I guess they were hoping they would get him low enough for the ult, and Cassante did not care.
Yeah, it just didn't matter. we were talking about Inigo Montoya on this Urgot. We were talking about Basting on this Cassante. We talked about it being a scrap up there. Urgot does have a level up, and realistically, this is a little bit of lane domination coming up from Inigo for now.
Right now, Inigo Montoya needs to do what Urgot is infamous for. Hit that level 9 and then be able to do the damage however you want, as much as you want. Because right now, trying to battle a Cassante, no matter how early it is, it's not going to be worth it.
And Shockwave quality moving up, has Shockwave available. We know Inigo doesn't have Flash. We just saw him use it. Basting doing really well to bait Inigo Montoya into his side of that lane, and it looks like it will just be 3 members of the side of MYNT up here, of the winning formula up here to make something happen, and the kill should go over to a singular member. It looks like they will pass it over to quality player. Really good coming out from them, but it is going to be very dicey for their bot lane. Well, Volibear has ultimate available. The wave is stacking. Callista and Zyra need to just get the wave in. Perky and Vexrax are trying to do their best to defend. Bullet time comes out. MF isn't quite able to find a kill. Callista gets a kill on the Nautilus. A flash away from Perky, but will it be enough? Zyra ult comes out, and there's so many resources being committed towards this dive. Quality player should fall as well. It's a triple kill for Myers, and this guy is massive.
This Phantom is going to make everyone scared. Callista with kills, with resources, is a force to be reckoned with. You will have your back full of spears before you can even turn around to look at her. Right now, 5-0-1, 93 CS. This is a very scary ADC right now.
I'd be terrified, and I'd also be terrified if I'm Anthony in this mid lane, as it looks like Vexrax and Lee Sinners are here. A good flash away will be able to secure his safety. But once again, another resource expended by Anthony. I think he just overextends a little bit too much on this way.
Currently, there's no vision in the bot or top side for MYNT. And this is why Urgot was able to, this is why Urgot was killed by 3 members of the winning formula. There was no wars to see them coming. And right now, the winning formula has wards pushed into their bot side right now, in the red side, and if they don't fix that soon, MYNT will just be giving up kill after kill, thinking they're safe, and there's 5 members in a bush waiting for them.
Yeah, but we have yet to see it happen, right? The winning formula, a little bit on the back foot in the kills department. You can see 5-0 is the Skallista, 1-0 is the Zyra, but that does mean that all resources are committed towards that bottom lane. It is kind of on Myers and Bear whether they're able to carry in these team fights. Obviously, moving towards this dragon, that does mean it should get secured. 2 dragons on the board. I'm curious to see what that soul will end up being. It does kind of matter towards what the game ends up being. Cloud Soul, it's not the worst. It's not the worst.
It could have been Ocean Soul. That would have been the best for everybody. But I guess, if you want to run faster. But at this moment in time, MYNT is just taking the lead. They stole and are running with it. The winning formula are doing their best job of trying to get those resources, trying to get that gold back. But so far, they're not really planning on where to be. They're trading. They gave up dragons, so the Wukong just went to grubs. So we'll see. Hopefully, they can do what they need to do to stabilize the bleeding here.
Yeah, and talking about stabilizing bleeding, Basting going to have to stabilize his bleeding in this top side, and Inigo Montoya on the run. Will Basting actually just be able to kill Urgot in the eyes of his jungler? He will indeed, and Lee Sinners is in the area. Lucky Field gonna run to the safety of his turret, but Basting doesn't care if he's in a 2v1. He's just gonna win.
That W nerf on Cassante, what W nerf? He sat there, took the damage, and got straight on the Urgot to finish him out. And that is exactly the power of Cassante. And Urgot, unfortunately, even with his team ahead, if they keep pulling that top side, whoa.
Yeah, well, talk about top side a little bit more. We don't want to see what's going on down here.
It's a hot mess. Spears flying all over the place. Bastings has a really good chance of being the side of the map that is able to get ahead, is able to get in lane decently rather than, be perky.
Yeah, I think it's, there's a lot of onus on Basting to kind of carry this game, right? He has Thornmill, he has those plated steel caps. Okay, a flash forward from Inigo Montoya, and, well, your mid laner is dead. It is what it is. Really good read coming out from the side of MYNT Gaming. But like I said, it's not going to be the Orianna. It's not going to be the MF. It is kind of all on this Cassante, whether he's able to make something happen in this game, able to just tank all of Myers' damage in these team fights, because it is getting rougher by the minute.
Right now, the winning formula chose Wombo combo, and the Wombo combo is probably not going to work out. So they need to find a way to avoid team fighting and get those resources as quickly as possible, because once the team fighting phase starts, it's going to be very, very hard to get them where they need to be to lay down that damage. And as you can see, everyone's coming to the top side. They were trying to defend this Cassante. Look at this.
A double knockup by Lee Sinners onto the back line of the bot lane. Myers is able to kite though, and he's able to get the kill with his Zyra by his side. Looks like Volibear is next to follow. Or sorry, Nautilus is next to follow, and that's just 2 kills donated to the side of MYNT.
That is unfortunate, especially the DC.
I mean, luckily Perky wasn't involved in that fight, but yeah, Perky is going to be the one who DC'd. We need at least to pause the game, guys. Come on. It was going a little bit too smoothly. So we've got 1 pause this game. Maybe we'll get another one. But 6,000 gold in the lead is MYNT. It's looking quite dire for the side of the winning formula. 2 dragons as well. It really has gone from bad to worse to worse to worsest for the side of the winning formula here. It's all started with that early invade, and it just has been MYNT Gaming on the forefront of these fights. And like you mentioned, the winning formula just constantly a little bit too late to all of these objectives.
There's always a chance for a team to come back from those type of situations. Just because you gave away 3 kills in the early game doesn't mean the game is done. It just all comes down to what it is you do during the game to get those resources back. Unfortunately, the winning formula is behind on getting dragons. They're 2 dragons down. getting those neutral objectives other than dragons that can only rug away the grubs. But now they're giving away more kills on top of trying to get back to the game and the neutral objectives. 10-2, like you said, 6,000 gold up. At this point in the game, unless they can somehow get Perky on the side lane and pray to the league gods that he can be left alone, this game is going downhill for the winning formula very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, XP lead for Anthony, XP lead for Myers. Don't look at items on ADCs. Like, you just don't want to see it. This Kalista just got another kill and assist, so she's going to have even more gold when she gets back. It's going to be really, really rough. 2 full items, I think, once she resets. So, yeah, once this next dragon spawns 2 minutes time, I feel like if the winning formula try and fight it, it could kind of spell the end of the game. I'm going to be honest. It is looking really, really doom and gloom for them. Obviously, they have the Wombo combo if they're able to pull it off, but quality player just hasn't been in the right place at the right time. Lee Sinner's a little bit discoordinated from his team. They really need to cool it off, really dial it back, and start playing more as a team if they want to be able to succeed.
Just to point out, it's not their team comp. It's just unfortunately the strategy behind playing from behind. How do you get ahead? And a lot of people, they lose motivation. They get quote unquote tilted when these type of scenarios happen because they're not used to playing from behind. And the winning formula just have to plan what is it that we have to trade to get back. If we have to trade the third dragon to get a different amount of towers, so be it. At the very least, you got gold and you open up the map. But right now, if the winning formula decide to contest this third dragon, that may very well be the final nail in the coffin, and all we're going to do is just see them slowly get bled out.
Yeah, and I mean, you've played League of Legends for a long time, right? And
Just a couple minutes.
yeah, just a few minutes, like few thousands, maybe tens of thousands of minutes. Yeah, it is what it is. It's just rookie numbers. But you were saying that you are a miscellaneous queuer, but mained jungle at some point in your career. Do you see a way back in as Lee Sinners? I feel like it's hard as a Wukong. You are ahead in XP right now, or not ahead XP. You're ahead in gold at the moment, right? You're ahead in farm. Is there any way back in? Obviously, Volibear is a little bit more meta at the moment. You're not really able to find the damage. You just lost 1v1 to an ADC in 2024. Like, what do you do?
Poor monkey. Well, in my opinion, yeah. So in my opinion, Lee Sinners is probably going to have to think about where he needs to be. In solo queue, you can easily just not be in the team fight and let your team flame you. But at the very least, you got good resources out of it. So we'll see how much Lee Sinners is willing to give to get back into the game. Because if he just keeps throwing himself into team fights and not have the items, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit rough for sure. But it looks like production is telling us to go to a short break, guys. We're not sure how long this tech pause will be in place, but hopefully Perky does rejoin and solve the DC issues at some point soon. But we'll be back after a really short break. You guys don't go anywhere.
Sometimes I can't help but feel like I don't belong here. Out of place, out of mind, like all the time. There's nothing else that feels like it's meant for me. But I've got a sweet escape. Under bright light, illuminate my face. Under bright light, it's shining down on us. Under bright light, illuminate your face. Under bright light, that's when I come alive. escape. Under bright light, illuminate my face. Under bright light, they're shining down on us. Under bright light, illuminate your face. Under bright light, that's when I come
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Rift. After that, short 9-minute delay, we have gotten back on, and once again, it is surprisingly MYNT running the map. They have Rift Herald secured, and we'll probably look for more later. The MF was DC'd, but has gotten back into the game now. Kex, how are we feeling about, the game after 9 minutes? Do you want to catch us all back up on just how dire the situation is for the winning formula?
Of course, right now the winning formula are extremely behind. Their only hope of getting back into this game is through their top laner Bastings. And even then, MYNT are doing their damnedest to make sure that he doesn't get the resources as well. So hopefully in this 9-minute break, the winning formula decided to do something different, because in this train right here, it's about to derail for them.
Yeah, it definitely could. And I mean, something we weren't able to see in Pause, but Lee Sinners is also a level up on Luckified, so I guess the Wukong is another outlet for the winning formula. But I think they're gonna try and punish him now as the ultimate comes out from Volley Baron and a massive engage from across the map. Lee Sinners is low. Surely he isn't able to survive, and it will be Inigo Montoya securing that one for himself with the Urgot ultimate. And yeah, just as we mentioned, Lee Sinners maybe being able to carry his team, we did caster curse him immensely.
That is unfortunate. We shouldn't have said anything, and MYNT wouldn't have gone after him. But jokes aside, yeah, that is going to be a trend this game. MYNT will continue to be in people's.
Vexrax just dead. Perky on the run. Quality player, also low. Had to disengage. Myers 1v1ing the top laner, but it will be Basting winning that 1v1. And like we mentioned, he kind of had the items to be able to counter this Kalista, proving that Myers isn't able to kill everyone. Lee Sinners gonna look for an engage onto the back line. Anthony just kind of gonna walk out. Turret shot does take him low, but MF just dies for standing still. Quay said, you know what, I can literally still hit you. I am way far away, but I'm still gonna kill you.
That is unfortunate. That was the perfect moment for a wombo combo, and all Lee Sinners could do was stare as he engaged and was rooted. And yeah.
Our producer is trolling us, but yeah, apparently it was a big misfortune. That one's from Matt, guys. Just everyone there. But yeah, misfortune may have missed her fortunate opportunity, and it looks like Lee Sinners. Not Lee Sinners. Vexrax is just going to get deleted. You can't really be there. Obviously, you are behind 3 kills to 14. You know where the line of scrimmage has been drawn at this point. Opting to get vision on that dragon is just a little bit hopeful thinking.
You see, the winning formula must separate their carries. Somebody should have been on the top side and allow somebody else to be in the mid lane. It may not be optimal, but at the very least, you are hopefully getting something. Currently, MF or Orianna could have been getting that top lane turret. But right now, they were sharing mid lane. They're probably saying, hey, should we go into this dragon or not? And now they're kind of stuck because now MYNT is back on the map and they have to be very careful where they step because their jungle is no longer their jungle.
Very, very true. As you do see Vexrax walking into it again. A little bit hopeful, but trying to clear out some of the vision. Obviously did find that ward. And I think that's going to kind of be the highlight of this game for the side of the winning formula for now. They know that they can't leave their base. They know they can't leave the confines of their turret. Maybe Basting can step out where you saw him backing just now towards where the tier 1 used to be in that bottom lane. But that's because he's the only one kind of ahead, has a lot of tools to get out as well. But overall, it is just going to be the winning formula. Turtling, playing as safe as they can, and looking for their golden opportunity. A slight misstep from MYNT, and that's really the only way to get back in.
Yeah, they're gonna have to keep rotating their carries to different lanes to be able to obtain the resources they're gonna need. And if worst comes to worst, they're gonna have to choose one carry to receive those resources, and the other one's just gonna have to be in the fights. And currently, right now, Orianna might be on shockwave duty, and MF has to have the gold necessary to have effective bullet times.
Yeah, it's really difficult, right? Like, this MF is so far behind, nearing finishing that second lethality item. I'm unsure of what it's going to be. Maybe it will be opportunity. That's the only item I can think of that builds out of those two items. But yeah, nearing that second item now, nowhere near that collector or third item or anything like that. Perky not quite going to have the damage that you'd like your ADC to have at this stage in the game. And Nico Montoya on the run, Basting, going to be able to find that Q3. Okay, a flash away from Urgot. Does secure his safety, but quality player. He is going to be caught on the opposite side. A good shockwave to disengage, but there's no one really to follow up. MF and Nautilus in the area. Anthony does get ultimated by the Nautilus, and the dredge line lands. Anthony has to flash away. MF isn't quite able to find any sort of damage, and it will just be a turn coming from the side of MYNT Gaming. They pick up 2 more, and 3 kills mopped up by their team.
MF literally sat there and stared at the Hui as she was ulting. That was a priority target. Stop ulting and kill the Hui, like the Wukong did.
Yeah, at least Sinners finds the kill, but will die in in response. But Sante finding something. Basing actually gets 2! Able to shut down 2 members of the side of MYNT Gaming, and ghosting out might actually be able to disengage for a little bit longer. Luckified has the Q, should be able to follow up, and Basting does end up going down finally. But this Xante showing exactly how much work he can get done.
Bastings is on a solo mission to put his team in a backpack and carry them across the finish line. Yes, they may weigh 1,000 pounds, but he is damn sure going to try to get them there. Because right now, he is their golden hope to have something happen in this game other than downhill for the winning formula team.
Yeah. Basting pulling off a little bit of a based ting in that top side, but he is in the grave for now, and that is going to be a little bit of a key factor for the winning formula. You can already see Perky just backing up here. Like, you can't walk up. Your top laner is kind of the only champion that can stand up to MYNT Gaming, and when he's not on the map, you just have to respect it.
That MF was on a solo mission. She almost had her prey, but he walked away. So now she's stuck down there,
Listeners,
blocked out by the rest of the team.
Has to WA the re-engage onto Myers, and maybe a misstep for Myers, and it will be a kill going the way of the side of the winning formula. But that's all it's gonna add up to. The jungler is dead. That's Dragon Soul on the cards in just 25 seconds time. Will they be able to find Orianna? Oh, they canceled the back. Quality player, what can you get done in this scenario? It can't be much. Engage onto him, and the shockwave doesn't get the kill. It will be Orianna dead. Maybe the winning formula can trade a mid-tier 1, but that Dragon Soul is going to go the way of MYNT.
That decision-making was unfortunately the death of quality player. They were going to back, and then they decided to stay. They needed to choose one or the other. Staying could have meant that they could have flanked the MYNT team while they were in that blue side jungle. And now, unfortunately, that's 2 players down. Wukong now finally get back on the map, and Dragon is now theirs. The 4th Dragon of the game.
Yeah, Cloud Soul at 23 minutes is a bit rough. That does mean Elder Dragon will be spawning at around 29 minutes. And that is a game-ending dragon. You know, like, if that does end up getting secured by either of these two teams at that point in the game, it could immediately lead to the game just ending. Not good looks for the side of the winning formula, putting this game on a massive timer, and they're already so far behind.
Currently, the game has not ended, and that's a good thing. The winning formula is going to get to the point where they're not as behind to be able to fight back. But yeah, that is unfortunate there. The Wukong having to ult out, you know, things like that.
I mean, the Baron can get started up.
Perfect. This is exactly how the MYNT planned it.
Yeah, it's difficult for the winning formula to enter as well. So obviously they're trying to get vision, trying to enter. The Baron, is down to 6,000 HP now. Myers has a good smite secure with the Volibear. It's not even quite a 50-50. The Wukong's over the wall.
There he goes.
Will he be able to get it? No, he will not. The Callista Ren secures it. Lee Sinners gets deleted. Basting fighting in this top side, and Inigo Montoya trying to kite as much as he can. He should go down. Basting has shown how based he is, but it doesn't matter. The Baron gets secured. The Purple Worm on the backs of the side of MYNT, and they're looking to bear down on the winning formula's base.
Lee Sinners had the chance to flip this game on its head, and unfortunately was just a little bit off. But no one can blame him. That was a gotta keep cool moment. And hopefully they can stem this bleeding, because now all they lost for that Baron was their mid inhibitor. And of course the Elder Drake that they're pinging.
Yeah, it's so difficult, right? Now the Baron persists for about 2 more minutes. You're able to push in these waves, able to get some pressure onto the map. And 2 more minutes after that, the Elder Dragon does spawn. And then you're just trying to secure a little bit more vision, trying to get back onto the map. Maybe you've lost all 3 inhibitors at that point, and it's just so hard to fight such an influential late game buff.
And this is unfortunately, I don't want to say a mistake, but it's a mistake. At this moment in time, Basting is done farming. He has to be in these fights. You know, Oriana or Perky has to be on those side lanes. Basting has to be in these fights, or it's just doomed altogether. Of course, he could survive a split push, but he is the only one that could survive anything in this game at this moment in time.
Yeah, maybe trying to make that last push for level 16, so the all-out does even more damage in this next fight, because this next fight does decide the game. 3 more minutes, surely he can get level 16 before that, but like you were mentioning, it is kind of a case of, if he gets level 16, what happens to the rest of the base of the winning formula? Do they just lose the game? It's such a rough position for them to be in.
That is the type of decision making they have to make. You know, they can't autopilot this. It has to be calculating. What do we do with the resources we can get? Who does it go to? Because at this moment in time, the winning formula is barely holding on to this MYNT siege.
Yeah, I mean, MF 0-5, Nautilus 0-6. Not really what you like to see on your bot lane. 1-4 on this Oriana as well. I mean, the scorelines kind of tell a tale, but the gold lead overall, 10,000 in way of MYNT Gaming. That tells even more. It's so difficult to defend. The Cannon minions just sieging the base on their own. You can't even walk up, because this is what happens. Basting, the only tanky member on the side of the winning formula, but an engage to counter coming out from Lee Sinners. It's desperate, but it's nowhere near enough. Bear gets the kill into Vextrax, and Lee Sinners is caught in the middle of 2, ends up dying. Perky over the wall is just going to get deleted, and it's over for the side of the winning formula. They have nothing left to fight for. MYNT Gaming will bear down on the Nexus, and they'll take game 2 in this best of 5. Their game 2, game 3 in this best of 5 series.
That is unfortunate. However, we can enjoy this wonderful 1v1 versus Basting and the Volibear. We won't get to see the ending, but what we do know is that the winning formula has one more chance before it is the end of their series.
Yeah, it's a rough one for sure. It showed us that obviously the winning formula and MYNT were very close in the first 2 games of this best of 5 series, but maybe MYNT has the winning formula's number yet again. Obviously, MYNT did win the last series that these 2 teams played against each other 2-0, and it showed us kind of why that was the case. 26 kills to 8 is a bit of a dominant performance. Eyes on Perky, eyes on Vextrax if they're able to get their feet off the ground in this next game, because it's really rough to look down bot and see 0-13. Let's be honest.
I mean, absolutely. That level 1 skirmish. I'm gonna go ahead and make the assumption that that wasn't planned. The Nautilus going in was probably just a trigger finger on that Q.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would have been a different story had he just not engaged.
It's entirely true. If they had just walked away, if the winning formula walks away in that first minute of the game, it's an entirely different story. But the story that we see on our screens is that game 2 going the way of Mint Gaming. And brings it to 2-1 in this best of 5 series. Will we see Silver Scrapes? Will we see just a clean 3-1 victory for Mint? We'll have to see after this really short break, guys. You guys don't go anywhere. This is potentially one of our last breaks of the stream. So we'll see you in a very short amount of time.
Can't feel the love. Oh, baby. There's no other you. If I ain't got you, I'm nothing. 'Cause there's no deeper love than what we're feeling. There's no deeper love. Oh, baby. 'Cause there's no deeper love than what we're feeling. There's no deeper love. I can't be without you. I'm in way too deep and I'm drowning in devotion. I'm lost, can't find a new emotion that's ever enough. And you can't deny it's real, 'cause there's no deeper love, baby, yeah. 'Cause there's no deeper love than what we're feeling. There's no deeper
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Risen Dominate Spring 2024 Quarterfinals, where we're watching Mint Gaming take on the Winning Formula. The Winning Formula did just lose the last game that we just watched. My name is Drake. I'm joined by Quetz. My bad. Ketz,
No
how we
worries.
doing? Are we enjoying this series so far? It's definitely a close one.
I mean, absolutely. The first two games were exactly how we wanted it. One team won, the other team did some recalculating, came back, and got their victory. Now, unfortunately, game three wasn't exactly how we would have wanted it. One mistake essentially costed the whole game. But now, we potentially have two more games to fix that mistake. Hopefully, the winning formula doesn't allow that to kind of throw them off their game. They can come back stronger, have an actual definitive plan of how they want to move ahead, and at the end of the day, it could be either team's games.
Yeah, it definitely can be. We've seen the winning formula find what they need to win. We've seen Mint Gaming be very dominant, right? We saw even in the first game, I think, Mint Gaming was dominant for most of it. There were a couple of moments where the winning formula fought back. In that second game, winning formula pretty dominant, but did have a couple of hiccups where Mint Gaming found their way back in. So once again, that last game, Mint Gaming being dominant, I don't think we saw as much of the winning formula being able to fight back as we would have liked to see or as we did see even in the last few games. So hopefully they draft a little bit better to be able to facilitate that in this next one. I feel like they maybe just didn't have what it took in this one because of the draft, and that's where my eyes are turning for sure.
You know, a lot of teams, a lot of players, one of the things they really don't think about is how do we play from behind? Yeah, you can get kills, you can get gold and know how to snowball the game, but what happens when you're behind? How do you get yourself back to even? And that is something these two teams, especially the winning formula, need to think about whenever that scenario happens.
It definitely is, and we already see that one of the bans is coming the way of the winning formula. Obviously, Mint has 3 bans, while the winning formula only has 1 in this first phase. So Zach and Viego going to be 2 target bans coming out from Mint. Once again, kind of targeting that jungle role, making sure that Lee Sinners isn't able to have the impact that maybe the winning formula want him to have. Obviously, the Wukong wasn't exactly what the winning formula needed to be able to facilitate Lee Sinners as much as possible. It's surprising to see him move off of the carry champions because of the meta. I feel like he's really good at carrying when he chooses those champions, and maybe that's what we see him pick up this game because realistically, the winning formula definitely need to change something up if they want to win this next one.
Absolutely. And currently they're just going to be consistent with the
Yep,
bans, with
and
the
the
Tom
picks.
Catch getting through. My goodness. I've never seen a bear and a catfish be in these games as much as I have now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the player should get a tattoo of like a bear with a catfish in its mouth or something. Like this champion is being locked so often. Uh, I do assume that the Feral Yordian bear will be locked in. And I mean, to go with the theme, what else do we see? Zach is banned away, so maybe we see Oriana picked up again because if it isn't broken, don't fix it or whatever. Asol is still up. I'd like to see that from Mint again. I feel like that had potential for sure.
A lot of these players need to really think about the champs they want to play here, because just because it's up doesn't mean you should pick it,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's not getting you where you need to be. You know, boom.
sorry, sorry, you what? Kog'Maw? All right, bro. We're gonna have the barf monster on our screens this game. Belveth Hover probably not locked in. Senna. That's what I like to see. The winning formula do have a good Senna. Their ADC is very, very comfortable on the Senna. I like to see it get picked up because of that. Tom Kench is now a very powerful flex pick as well. Can play at support, probably arguably better in the support role, but can move it towards that top lane because we've seen it up there so much this series. Wukong also picked up. Maybe we were missing something, Lee Sinners. Maybe he has a little bit more prowess on the champion than we saw in the last game. Curious to see how this draft develops.
I
Brand.
am. Whoa.
I mean, to be
That
fair, it was meta for a while. I'm not too surprised, but it's a bit left field for sure.
You know, these champions tell me that these are niche picks. These are, hey, we're behind. We need to pull something out of our butts. And this is exactly what that is. Tom Kench has to go support with the Senna because that's just how that strategy works. Tom
Hmm.
Kench farms and Senna just doesn't give a shit, just poking everyone down. The Wukong, hopefully they can get past level 1 and it can do a lot better
Yeah,
than the last
yeah.
game.
To be fair, I think there was desperation on Lee Sinners' face, right? We can't really see his face. Sadly, they don't play with face cams, but like that's the vibe I was getting when Wukong was forcing so much in that early game. We know Wukong is a champion that likes to free farm in the early stages, get ahead of his enemy opponent in farm, and then really scale into the mid game with his ultimate with his first item. But he didn't end up getting it until like 15 minutes because he fought so much in that early game. So, like you were mentioning, maybe if that desperation isn't there, he's able to really facilitate it better. Ornn gets locked in from MYNT, and this looks like confidence to me. This looks like a team that is like, you know what, we are one win away from winning the series. We have to progress through this quarterfinals, through the playoffs bracket if we want to win this series. So we might as well try some stuff.
The winning formula needs to just do exactly what Mint is doing. They
Mm.
are picking whatever they want, relaxing champions, and get through the game. And the winning formula are just trying their hardest to calculate what they need to be playing. And right now, it's looking like they have done exactly that. Olaf and Azir are
Corky. Oh,
Corky are now in these games.
good to see. I
They
mean, Corky's difficult, right? Like, obviously, he's super slow building, like, wants to get to the late game. And we've seen kind of what happens if the winning formula tries to play towards scaling. I'm a little bit worried for sure.
at this moment in time, Wukong and Olaf are definitely flex picks.
Mm.
Believe it or not, even though Olaf is not meta, he can still jungle. He's just as effective. His ganks,
Sorry, what?
his his skirmishing, the
Smolder?
Olaf. Wait, what? Whoa!
Bro just went, huh? what the
It's
what is it? Kog'Maw support? Is it Kog'Maw mid brand support Smolder ADC? Like what is actually happening on my screen right now?
Mint
Okay, all
have
right.
are deciding to enjoy themselves this game.
My take, Smolder mid. I was like looking through the archives. Mint actually played Smolder mid in like their first or second game of this of the Risen spring season. So potentially bringing it back, getting Anthony on that Smolder, and then they have Kog'Maw Brand bot, which is just wild in itself. But Volibear is more likely to go towards the jungle role because Brand is on our screens, but we're used to seeing Brand jungle. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I really have no idea.
So I was saying, Wukong and Olaf are very flexible. They can go top or jungle depending on how bad they want to win. Olaf can go jungle.
How
Wukong can go
bad they want to
top.
win. Wait, are you saying one's like absolutely troll? Are you saying like Wukong top is just terrible, or what? What's this diss?
Well, it depends on how you want to play. Both champions are more than capable of armor shred. Ornn lives on that. They can both burst them down if they really try. But depending on if one or the other goes jungle, what did they execute while in the jungle will really tell us exactly which way this game's gonna go.
Yeah, it's an interesting one to say the least. If I'm playing Olaf in this game, it's a bit difficult if I'm honest. Like Brand does a ton of damage. Kog'Maw realistically, it's hard to read. I feel like he's okay in the meta right now, so he's going to do damage as an ADC. Smolder not as powerful as he once was, but good scaling options still. Ornn, if he gets to the late game, able to add those ornaments. Like basically, if Mint are able to survive in this early game, I see an absolute abomination of a team that just doesn't look like it should work. Absolutely popping off if it gets past 30 minutes.
Absolutely. In my eyes, Wukong has to be the one that goes top. And the reason that is that once Olaf ganks and he has his ult, no one's going to stop him. They have plenty of CC to stop the Wukong. But if Olaf can be in the jungle and get in these fights, he will be able to single out the different targets that he needs to single out. He can absolutely destroy the Kog'Maw. He can actually absolutely catch up to the Smolder, no matter if he's flying away. He can beat down the Ornn with the Wukong, both of them having armor shred, just making sure that he does not survive the early game. And absolutely, Olaf is more than capable of 1v1ing the Volibear. but that's just me because I'm an Olaf fan. I love Olaf. But this
That's
would
just
be
if you were playing Olaf, like that's just if like they had me on their team, but like it is what it is. No, I definitely agree. Olaf has a chance here if he's able to play in the jungle, but obviously we'll have to wait and see where these lanes end up getting assigned. The champions on Mint, I'm really curious where those end up going as well. It could be Smolder, Kog'Maw bot lane, and Brand mid that might be more standard. I don't know. Brand hasn't been seen mid in centuries, it feels like. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
I
But
mean,
one thing we know for sure, Corky's mid.
we are in agreement with that. Corky is absolutely mid. I have not seen that champion play there in my elo, gold, whatever, bronze. It's all the same. In a long time. So they have a very powerful AP pick in the mid lane, especially late game. Him being built the weird way that he does with Luden's Echo and Mana Moon and all that good stuff. He will start blowing people up once he gets there, and it is Smolder mid. So yes, we will see who gets there first.
Yeah, it'll be a war of attrition for these two teams. I do think that when the winning formula are a little bit more proficient early game. I take that back. It's hard to say, because Senna doesn't have that much damage output. Tom Kench does. Olaf obviously has a lot. Wukong kind of in the middle. Corky not really. Um, you look at the opposite side. Brand does a lot of damage in the early game. It's actually kind of ridiculous. But you have Kog'Maw Smolder, so they don't. But then Ornn Volibear, like a lot of CC. It's really, really close between these two teams. I think it is going to come down to which team executes better, which team is there at the objectives first, which team is being more proactive on the map, something that we haven't seen much of from the winning formula. They had it in that second game. Honestly, they went in with a goal in mind. They went in with everything set in their brains, and they were just absolutely popping off. There were two objectives first. They were looking for fights first. But like you were mentioning in the last game, even, right? MYNT, really proactive on the map. The winning formula just fully playing reactively. If we see that again, I feel like the winning formula are looking at a 3-1.
That would be unfortunate to come this far, only to lose, only to win one game. But right now, they have a very good-looking comp, I would say. Very skirmishy on both sides. One side is not trying to accomplish a goal within their comp, other than the Kog'Maw getting to that stage in the game where he just starts melting everybody he touches. But both team will be skirmishing, and hopefully Kog'Maw will stay away from the skirmishing and does his farming so he can go ahead and be 20 feet away and just start hammering away at whatever target he looks at.
Yep. Well, I guess we will have to wait and see when we finally get onto this rift, when we finally get onto the rift for the fourth time today. But before that, we will go to like our 15th break. Sorry, guys. We will be back. We promise. We always are. But yeah, it will be a really short break before we get onto the rift. Go grab your snacks, maybe your food. Me and Ketzel will probably take a short nap because it's like 4 a.m. here or something like that. But yeah, we'll see you guys shortly. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, guys, welcome back to the fourth game here between this best of 5 series in this best of 5 series between Mint Gaming and the Winning Formula. We are on Summoner's Rift. My name is Drake. I'm joined by Ketzel. Ketzel, how we feeling? See anything a little bit unorthodox yet, or is this pretty standard stuff from these two teams?
Well, hopefully one of the teams have learned to not peek into the other team's jungle. So hopefully with that in mind, they will have a very equal start. And yeah, hopefully from there, we can actually see a game be played. Not to be a jerk, but yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Hopefully no early game mistakes or missteps that kind of snowball the game out of control. I feel like it'd be a bit harder in this game. Like, obviously, last game there was a Callista, which is a champion that can kind of run away with their lead. I feel like a lot of the champions in this game, maybe Olaf or Wukong are champions that can run away with the lead, but overall, it's not terrible for either of these two teams. So, really, I do feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we might even just be in for like kind of a resident sleeper first 10 minutes, even if there are kills going the way of either side. Like, realistically, it doesn't have a lasting impact on the outcome of the game.
Well, at this moment in time, we get to see one of your favorite champions just exist in the game, right, Smolder?
Yes, yes. I love dragons. That's why my name is Drake. That's right.
There we go. But at this moment in time, we get to see a classic with the Corki in the mid, and a Wukong just in general in a game, and that's always fun. But
Yeah,
right
the
now,
classic Kog'Maw brand bot lane, you know?
oh, absolutely. The question is who gets there first, and that's all I can ask right now. Who gets to be the one to blow up the other person? Who gets to melt who?
Yeah, looks like basting is kind of basting Inigo Montoya like a turkey up here. Getting him nice and low, and it is what we expected, right? Olaf does have the armor shred just like Wukong does, so able to kind of bully this lane for, I'd say, a large portion of it. I feel like Ornn has to massively outplay, and basting has to massively misplay in order to lose this lane. And that might be where these junglers are targeting in the early game. Looks like Wukong is pathing up there. Lee Sinners, is he going to be able to respond to this Corki gank, though? Looks like it is going to be a 2v2 in this mid lane. Corki's disengaging. Volibear's in the area. Lucky Flea. Okay, Luckified, sorry. Not going to be able to get in there. A good disengage from quality player, and as everything kind of fizzles out.
That is unfortunate because Wukong is pulled away from his jungle, so he won't be able to finish his jungle as fast. Never mind, I spoke too soon. Wukong will be finishing faster than the Volibear, depending upon how fast he gets to finish it. That seems redundant. That's just the way it is. But one of the things I wanted to touch on is that the 2v2 top lane will be in the favor of the Winning Formula. I believe Olaf and Wukong does have a better skirmishing than, two tanks between Ornn and Volibear. So I believe the Volibear's goal would be to stay around the mid or the bot lane, even though the mid lane will be hard to pull the hold down to get any sort of kills. So Volibear has a lot of work cut out for him this game.
Yeah, and I think he knows it, right? Luckified trying to get that vision down, trying to get some sort of pressure down towards the spot side, even towards the mid lane, right? Didn't quite get a flash burned by quality player, but does keep Anthony relatively healthy in that lane for now. Low on mana. Smolder kind of just not a champion anymore, so we'll have to see whether Anthony's able to get this guy off the ground, get his wings flapping. But yeah, I definitely agree. It is between these junglers, between Lee Sinners and Luckified, who's able to farm more in this early game, realistically. Whichever one's able to get to this first item first, get to level 6 first, I feel like will have a little bit more impact in this game.
I mean, people said that, oh my goodness, I forgot her name.
Renata.
Oh gosh, nope.
Sona.
The vampire, the vampire champion.
Vladimir?
The other one.
Prior. Okay, well, either way, quality players just getting flashed on. It looks like Luckified is just going to pick that one up for himself. A first blood for this bear.
And there you go. There you have it. Luckified putting the pressure exactly where it needs to be. And once you know that, oh my God, why am I blanking on names?
It's one
I
hand,
just
it's all
hover.
right.
Once the dragon character gets the items that he needs, then Volibear can rest easy knowing that he did his job getting his carries exactly where they need to be. But the question is, can he get them there faster than
And especially when he's stealing the kill.
quality player? Oh, okay, that too. Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
realistically, that one was free as well. I mean, it's a little unfortunate, but either way, Anthony wasn't going to be able to get the dragon stacks anyways. Does look very strong in this lane for now. It is kind of the reality of ADCs in mid lane. They are just kind of strong. I'm curious how much damage his ultimate's actually going to have on the waves in this game as well. Kind of what made Smolder so OP. It looks like Grubs will also get secured by the Wukong. It is the winning formula popping off in the objective game so far. Good to see.
Perfect. The Wukong is showing exactly what he's capable of, rather than the previous game where he was just hoping something would happen. Because right now, both teams are on equal footing. It's all about, like you said, who messes up first. You know, on the top lane, Inigo Montoya has to mess up drastically bad to be caught out by this Olaf.
It's definitely true. And looks like as the game moves on, Volibear will be starting this dragon. I don't know if there's a contest coming through. It is a TP from Vexrax to be able to get into that bot lane. Senna and Tom can move, but I do feel like the Infernal Dragon will be going over to the side of MYNT Gaming. What can Wukong get on the opposite side of the map? That's what matters.
You know, right now the junglers, they only think about trading the objectives, but most of the time, once the objectives are traded, you can always push into the enemy's jungle and
There you
steal
go.
the camps there.
He hears you, bro. Are you in his ear?
There you go. There you go. All right,
Oh, but-
Luckify, just don't get caught. Up. There we go.
Yeah, you're just giving over the comms, man. Like, what is this? But yeah, you are a little bit in their ear. Didn't even have to burn Flash, Perky, and Vexrax. Good stuff from the bot side of the winning formula. This is exactly what they need. Apply a little bit of pressure, but not enough to die. And that means Volibear can't counter-invade. Wukong's able to get these camps. He's almost level 6. Maybe he can look for something on the Smolder. Olaf pops Ghost and Ragnarok in the top side. We won't be able to see it. I don't think he can get that kill. Inigo Montoya is just under his turret. Had to burn Flash, though. A lot of pressure from both of these two sides, but no kills going over just yet.
I would expect MYNT to play a little bit more aggressively because they are on the.
Listeners over the wall.
whoa.
He has the ultimate. The Wukong gets the kill for the quality player, and Corky gonna be really happy to pick up one for himself.
You know, the winning formula are in a desperate situation. You know, this is their knockout game. They want to win, so I would expect MYNT to be playing in that same capacity. No, do not give the winning formula any ins. And right now, they're finding their way in.
I mean, it's a good capitalization, right? Anthony doesn't have Flash. Something that we've seen Smolder do time and time again when he was really prevalent in the meta is just flap his wings and walk away. Like, bro is just able to get so far away with that ability, but when you don't have Flash, you're really, really vulnerable. And like you said, Anthony stepped up just a little bit too much. Got punished immediately. Really good to see Listeners activating himself on the map, getting this farm that we were talking about, and really showing us why Wukong can be so strong.
Absolutely. I am excited that these type of champions that are considered off meta are able to still perform in games such as this, are able to know their strengths, know what they can and can't do, and pretty soon, once the mid game starts happening, it's going to be kind of scary to meet the Wukong anywhere other than in a team fight.
Yeah, speaking of scary things, the CSing on Inigo Montoya, it's a bit unfortunate. 30 CS down is this top side. Really, really going to impact the state of the game later on, but obviously, Ornn maybe not too upset about it. Just going to build tank items anyways. Like, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world, but Olaf getting ahead can really have massive implications on these team fights later on.
Absolutely. No one likes a guy that pops ghosts, ults, and no one can stop him. He's just
true.
running you down. I remember back when Olaf was very big in the meta, and everyone banned him all the time because what can you do other than play?
Hold that thought. The ultimate from Volibear. Engage. Vexrax You ult the Senna. It's actually enough to save her. We weren't able to see what happened, but I think Tomkins just got deleted. But Perky's able to walk out. And on the opposite side, Wukong got the kill on the Anthony with the Corki. So that does mean that that will be Grubs going over. 6 Grubs picked up from the side of the winning formula. Really well played.
MYNT team, they're doing what they need to do. They're doing wonderful dives. That was a very good dive. As a matter of fact, I don't think the winning formula even knew Luckified was there. They had no vision in that try of any sort. Look how far MYNT has their vision pushed. Pinks all over the bottom river. A ward straight near the Krugs. Like, they are making damn sure that they are able to farm. Let this Kog'Maw get there. Just as of right now, if Kog'Maw gets there, the winning formulas team will not get there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see it play out. Perky and Quality Player, both poke champions in their own rights, right? And obviously, Smolder, Brand, Kog'Maw, these champions are not bad at poking themselves. It's going to be a little bit of a war of attrition in these team fights. You have to assume once they start breaking out. But it's kind of a diversity as well. Luckified and Inigo Montoya on the Volibear and Ornn going to be looking to engage. Similarly, Wukong and Olaf trying to pull the trigger as well. So it's going to be a balancing act between these two teams, pulling the trigger, poking. As you can see, trying to pull this trigger in the spot lane, it's very difficult when all you have is poke champs.
Absolutely. I guess at the moment in time, MYNT is gonna have to rely on the neutral objectives, because if they can't get kills without sacrificing too much, at the very least beat them in the neutrals.
Surely fighting Quality here is a bit interesting. Like, he has package, Corky's looking onto Luckified. Luckified has flash though, and it should secure them enough pressure to secure this dragon. Quality Player onto Luckified, just ruining half his HP. Luckified might have to flash. He has the ultimate available as well. Quality Player really going to make him use it. Has to ult it, but what the heck was that calculation? It was not anywhere near enough damage to kill that Corki. Smolder is fighting him off the back of it, but as you see on our screens, Brand is dead. Anthony won't be able to find enough damage onto Quality. For now, a Senna ult comes out and Quality's safe. But this dragon is nowhere near low enough to die. Vexrax trying to play front lane, Anthony into the back. A flash over the wall. Sorry, not a flash over the wall. A flap over the wall, but a flash over the wall does secure the safety of Quality Player. And on the opposite side, Myers is getting deleted. He will go down. And it's 4 clean kills, a dragon to boot, all going the way of the winning formula.
I have no clue what MYNT are thinking right now. Like I said, they should be playing as if they want to win, but they're kind of making plays like they have nothing to lose. And right now, they have a chance to end this series with this game. They need to think a little bit better the things they want to do. They don't need to make hero plays on these neutral objectives. They're doing plenty well in the other lanes. Just keep pushing those leads ahead.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, right? Because like I was mentioning, I feel like both teams are relatively evenly matched. Okay, Quality Player. Has Lee Sinners to back him up. Luckified has the flash still available to him. Not in too much danger here, but as I was trying to say, both teams are relatively even in the scaling department as well as the early game department. Maybe I would inch towards this Olaf and Wukong in the early game as well as Tom Kench. But it's relatively even, and I think it might be confusing these two teams. MYNT might be misregistering their early game prowess on their champions and just thinking that they can take these fights when obviously, as we've seen, they really, really can.
Well, the only thing we can consider right now is the fact that the neutral objectives are about to be all focused down the bot lane. Currently, the winning formula are starting the Herald. Hopefully, they can walk away with it, because right now it's looking like Volibear is about to walk in on this situation. And never mind, it looks like it's a free objective for the winning formula. So pretty soon, both teams will have to fight over Dragon, and that's when we get to see who will truly be ahead.
Yeah, and obviously traded for that bottom turret in the mid lane, or sorry, in the bot lane. Yeah, the bottom turret in the mid lane. The bottom turret for MYNT Gaming. It's good to pick up first turret gold. Obviously goes the way of Kog'Maw and Brand, champions that you don't mind getting ahead, and hopefully it does have an impact later on. Looks like they'll be swapping lanes at some point soon as well. So as this game kind of gets blown up, and I think it's also eyes turning towards who gets these turrets, who has control and pressure over the map. And like you were mentioning, if MYNT is able to maintain this deep vision, get even further deep vision because of these turrets being down, they can really start to look for these team fights where even though they are disadvantaged in the gold department, they might not be disadvantaged in the amount of players in the area department.
Absolutely. Currently, the game 6-2 at 15 minutes. It could be absolutely worse. You know, to be honest, looking at the scores and looking at the gold, MYNT doesn't really feel like they're behind, even
Next
if
Are we safe here? Okay, flash out. Lee Sinner's in the area. It's a knock up on Anthony, and does he have a way out? Smolder's doing his best, calls in Mom, but will it be enough to get him out of this one? No, it will not. He goes to timeout, and it looks like Lee Sinner's got enough to kill that Smolder. Good ultimate from Vexrax will secure the kill onto the Bear as well, and it's all going up for the winning formula.
So anyways, like I was saying, MYNT may be a little bit behind now.
Yeah, perhaps that gold has ballooned a little bit. Looks like Rift Herald is going to charge as well. And yeah, they really shoved your words down your throat there, but it's good to see. You know, they are flexing their lead. They're showing that they still have vigor in this series. We were talking about maybe them being down in the dumps after that pretty convincing loss. They came in with a plan, and it's definitely working so far.
Absolutely. Right now, 4K difference in gold this early in the game, that is very big. And as a matter of fact, the winning formula has taken 6 grubs. So that means every time they hit a turret, 2 of those little voidlings will appear. So their split pushing potential and their turret taking in general will be a force to be reckoned with, especially once the Olaf starts getting out of lane.
Yeah, and you know, once Sen is able to auto from outside of turret range because that's allowed, and whatever else ends up happening. But it looks like Luckified is in enemy jungle. I'm not sure what's going to happen towards this mid lane, whether the turret is going to get sieged. Quality player trying to shove it in with his support. It is just kind of both teams flexing around, trying to get deep vision, trying to secure vision pockets for themselves. And obviously any scraps that Luckified can find, he's going to try and sniff out as well.
So far, everything's calmed down, but the humongous objective is coming back up in 20 minutes. Neither team are very...
20 minutes. 20 seconds.
20 minutes. Sorry, 20 seconds. Neither team are looking like they're posturing to come get this.
Basing?
Everyone's popping ghost
Basing?
here.
Wait, Basing, just leave. Basing. What? Okay. Well. We were just commending the winning formula, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, Corky package comes out. Anthony is gonna die. It is a 1-for-1.
Oh.
Bear actually ends up falling as well. Quality player. Absolutely insane double kill from what didn't look like it was gonna be one at all. Perky is under threat. This dragon is getting taken low. No jungler for the side of MYNT Gaming, and it will go the way of Lee Sinners. He's going into the back line. Will he be able to find anything else? The Cyclone lands onto the Kog'Maw. The flash away from Hello Bear. Hello, says Perky, and he will be able to get that kill. A good Tom Kench does save Senna's life, but the Wukong will die on the opposite side. Really close fights here, but the Dragon goes the way of the winning formula.
Absolutely amazing. MYNT doing everything in their power to keep this game equal. 11-5, who cares? They're within 3K gold right now. And all they have to do is keep pressuring the winning formula when it comes to these objectives. They're more than capable. I don't know if you saw, but Smolder just pinged his stacks. He is getting there. He will now start burning people alive once he gets these stacks closer and closer to the point where he just starts executing them.
He's like 14 stacks away. It's a scary point to be at.
Absolutely, but anything can happen. However, I am enjoying the fact that this game is still close. The kill score, the kill score are deceiving.
Yeah, they are. I mean, Senna's stacks aren't even that high either, right? She's at 70 right now. She could be a little bit higher at 20 minutes into the game, so the kills definitely are a bit deceiving. Obviously, we will see if Basing's going to get punished again, playing really confident in this top side, but is going to spot them out, going to back away.
Oof, that was a whole squad up there.
Yeah, the Avengers were called, but won't be able to get anything done, sadly.
Right now, it's looking like everyone is resetting in some sort of way. Uh, right now, everyone's objective should be getting vision. The only team that have really any secure vision would be Mint. Mint are getting themselves onto the map. They want to push into these rivers. They want to make sure that they have room to breathe, room to move. Because once fights start moving, Myers and Anthony need to have vision of where they need to be going because champions like Wukong and Tom Kench will be able to jump on top of them, and if they don't know where they're going and they end up running into other members of the winning formula, that's going to keep them going down further and further behind.
Talking about that Cyclone into the back line, it finds one. Myers as well will fall, and it looks like Hello Bear is just trying to fight off the monkey. Tom Kench will get the ult off onto his Corki to save his life, and Wukong trying to disengage. The Smolder gets the kill with Mom, and there shouldn't be any more follow-up. It looks like Luckify gonna have to disengage. Quality player getting quite low, but it should be no more kills going either way if Vexrax is able to disengage enough. Actually, a kill goes on to Hello Bear. Perky punishes the step up. Anthony dies as well. This Olaf is Olafing. The Ragnarok comes out, and Inigo Montoya, you must be prepared to die. A double kill goes the way of Basting, and it's an easy pickup for the winning formula.
You see there, the winning formula had that flank. As I was saying, Mint had to be warding these paths, these jungles, because things like Lee Sinners coming in invisible will catch them off guard. And once Olaf knows what's going to happen, pops the ult, pops Ragnarok, he will run anybody and everybody down. And now this lead is getting pushed further and further ahead. The kills don't matter anymore, but the gold, the turrets that go down, that will matter sooner or later in this game.
Yeah, it definitely goes to show just how effective Olaf can be in these team fights if he's able to be there. I think that was the first one we actually saw him participate in, and he showed us why Olaf is so good in this draft. You were mentioning it earlier, but two ADCs that are relatively immobile if you don't include the flap away from Anthony. Obviously, no flash available for Anthony Myers. They both have Ghost, but realistically, Olaf is able to catch up. And on top of that, Brand being the only other source of damage, it does become very difficult for them dealing with an Olaf when no CC applies. It also is difficult if you are caught in this situation, but Anthony has to TP away. But yeah, Olaf showing exactly how strong he can be in this draft.
Oh yeah, all Olaf has to do is build a Black Cleaver, and I'm gonna say it, he's gonna be practically unstoppable. Not even Ornn will be able to stand up against him. No Thornmail, no nothing. And they're all looking at him. They want him. They want to make sure that he can't do the things that he can do. Run at people and everyone dies.
Yeah, run, press Q, and right click. Very difficult. But
Exactly.
the execution does have to be relatively good. Basting has to play safe here. Obviously, it is crazy that 4-5 members have moved up towards this top side, and Basting just has to play underneath his turret in his own jungle, but the Dragon should go over to the side of the winning formula, but the Baron is being started up on the opposite side. Do the winning formula sniff it out? I don't think they have just quite yet. It was a good attempt coming out.
There was blue pings all over the Baron.
Yeah, they hadn't quite gotten vision though, but it does look like it will end up being stopped. And once again, this is just kind of desperation from Mint, maybe trying to get something that...
Whoa.
Okay, this TP. Okay, this TP surely has to be Troll. But Vexrax is buying a lot of time. He's so dang tanky. Wukong into the back line. It will be Brand dying. Anthony won't quite get caught by the Cyclone. He will get the kill onto the Monkey, and one more dead in the middle of two, but 2 kills go the way of quality player. Can they look for anything else? Anthony doing his absolute darndest, gets a kill back. A shutdown onto the Catfish, and Perky looking for anything else that he can. A good flash ward from Montoya. Will it be enough? No, it will not. And it ends up being a 3-for-3. A really scrappy fight between these two teams.
I sincerely hope that TP was planned, because in my eyes, he was like, hey guys, let's go in. And he was already TPing. But thankfully, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. They went even. But again, the winning formula are still ahead. Mint was lucky to be able to get 3 kills and get out of there alive. So now they just have to keep going, keep being able to trade back every time the winning formula wants to go in. Unfortunately, if they're not able to keep up, this the game may very well go to Silver Scrapes.
There's definitely a chance, right? And MYNT are making us very, very well aware of it as our sleep schedules get slightly pushed back. But it does look like Quality Player trying to make it happen, trying to get this kill onto Inigo Montoya. Will he actually die? Quirky ult is really hitting from a far distance, but it looks like there won't be anything else to follow up. Quality Player has to flash away. The Brand Ultimate into the backline is doing so much work. It will be a disengage coming out from the winning formula. It's a really rough game state for them. Obviously, they were just in a massive lead, but there's a phrase that I have heard coined, and it's very, very viable in this instance. When you trade evenly from behind, you're trading positively. Obviously, if MYNT are trading kills evenly, they're very, very happy to do so.
Absolutely, and not only that, the winning formula does have their split pushing weapon in the Olaf and 6 Grubs. Anytime the Olaf's not in a fight, he should be in a side lane. And that's how they're going to be able to get back into this game, or stay relevant in the game, and hopefully take it to game 5.
Speaking of which, Wukong ult comes out, and Olaf pops Ragnarok just to make sure Inigo Montoya gets deleted. In this mid lane, though, Vexrax is taking so much damage. Smolder is absolutely popping off. Anthony showing why he is the main mid laner for this roster, doing so well with his team, able to get 2 back for 1. And this does not bode well for the winning formula.
Absolutely not. Hopefully the winning formula has a plan here. Olaf is just now backing. I hope he gets there before, the winning before MYNT takes nearly the whole base here.
Yeah, but Basting has no Ragnarok. There's no Cyclone available for Lee Sinners. It's just an inhibitor going the way of MYNT. And this is exactly what they've shown us they can do time and time again. Capitalizing off just a slight mistake. This team showing exactly why they are 2-1 in the series so far.
That was a very big judgment call on the side of the winning formula. With Olaf pushing, they could have probably held off trade inhibitor for inhibitor, but after all, they don't really know how hard MYNT could push, and that is unfortunate because, again, Olaf could have taken a turret and an inhibitor off that if they were confident enough to beat off any aggression from MYNT.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate as the kills are slowly starting to even out. Obviously, gold is still 4,000 in the lead of the winning formula, but it's starting to diminish in value as these fights look closer and closer. This Hextech Dragon spawning in 30 seconds time. It would be soul for the side of the winning formula, a very, very influential soul in these team fights. Could be game winning. I think it is going to be MYNT Gaming trying to get something, trying to fight this, because if they don't, it looks a bit rough.
Absolutely. If I was in MYNT's position, and this is just a big judgment call, I would let the winning formula. Wait a minute, Wukong is just absolutely annihilating the tank's health. That health percent damage on that R is an immense help. And it's looking like both teams are trying to chase each other into the bot river.
Yep.
They really want to...
Finds the call of the Forge God. Lee Sinner's trying to disengage, but Smolder is doing so much work. Senna's just dead. The Olaf has died. This guy can be in Ragnarok, but he's gone to Valhalla. Smolder looking over for a second one, finds a double kill. Will he be able to find a kill on the quality player? He looks. Anthony gets over the wall with the flap, finds the triple kill, looks for Vexrax. One more auto should do it. A quadra kill for this Smolder, and it will be a triple kill for the side of MYNT Gaming in this best of 5 series.
Smolder exists. This is 400 years of Riot. Ultra scaling 1Q annihilates half of everyone's HP. MYNT from behind, able to clutch this series 3-1. Amazing.
Crazy stuff coming out from MYNT. The poise, the calculation, the ability to make those judgment calls like you were talking about, to be able to push those turrets when you need to, when you know that it's actually a mistake for the enemy team to be killing your Ornn in that bottom side, right? Just the ability to pull the trigger. MYNT showing us why they had it all in this series, making it 3-1, even though it was slightly contentious. Really good stuff to see. Really, really well played by them.
The only thing I could really think of is when you see a champion like Smolder exist in your game, your goal is to make sure they don't arrive to the late game, and that is exactly what Smolder did. Unfortunately, Wukong did not apply the amount of pressure that was necessary to discourage the Smolder from farming as much as he did. Uh, and there you have it. Smolder just QW, everyone's burning alive.
Yeah, it's sad to see, to say the least. I mean, I'm not one to be happy about a Smolder pick, much less a Smolder, like you mentioned, 400 years situation. It looks a bit rough to watch, like, I pick Smolder, we win the series. It's a bit sad to see, but obviously the champion isn't as good as it once was, so he did have to calculate and play very well up until that point. But like you mentioned, once Smolder got online, just absolute decimation from the side of Mint Gaming.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's all about just playing it out. But as you see, Mint Gaming earned their third victory.
They definitely did, and I think we have Luckified here, the jungler from Mint Gaming, in the call with us now. Luckified, how you feeling after such a hype win?
Hello. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good,
Absolutely.
bro.
Cool. Feel pretty good, relieved. It was a scary series with us not having our regular roster, which we've
Mm.
grown very accustomed to over the last 4 months probably. But yeah, super relieved. TWF is a good team.
Yeah, they definitely were, and they gave you guys a little bit of a run for your money,
Uh,
but
Dude,
you guys fought back pretty valiantly.
definitely. The late game in game 4 was kind of just
Iffy.
like once we got there, we were like super like we just win, even though like we
Really?
didn't play the rest of the game.
Fair
But then
enough.
they just kind of kept inting into us, and we were just fighting front to back.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
looked good.
the fact of the matter is that your Smolder was exactly where it needed to be. So every time they inted into him, it was just free stacks for him, I would assume, right?
Yeah, Anthony has like 250 stacks at like 20 minutes or something. I don't know if you guys had a track on it. He had got it pretty fast.
Yeah, faster than Senna was relevant, that's for sure. But you guys popped off. How was the draft like in these games? I mean, obviously that last one was a bit unorthodox. Was the plan that entire game 4, like ahead of it, to go into Smolder mid, like pick these really unorthodox stuff, or was that just kind of the development that you guys decided to make?
So our plan going into game 4, honestly, we weren't sure quite what to do. We talked about what to ban a lot. You know, it's kind of weird with them having one ban and us having all of ours, and they're stealing our picks, and then we're going back and forth with it. So we were
Yeah.
kind of just like, I was kind of getting antsy, just like, guys, what are we talking about? Just play the game. So we ended up just going with like late game scaling comp. I mean, we have Kog'Maw, Brand, Ornn, Smolder, which is just a
Mm,
lot of AoE destruction at like 25 minutes. They don't hard to team fight into that, and they did a really good job trying to like disrupt the fights with the Wukong going in and out, and the Olaf staying in, and then just a lot of shielding and shielding coming from Tompkins and Senna. So it was a valiant try from them. I think our late game was just too strong in game 4. Honestly, I was a little frightened that game because I'm Volibear early game, and I'm like, all my lanes are scaling. And
yeah.
Myers is like, all right, you gotta be a psycho. Get in there, go make things happen. And yeah, um, we saw a few things happen, but I don't really remember much unless I watch back the games, honestly.
I was
Speaking of,
curious. Oh,
I did want to ask a question. It
go
was
on.
kind of I was curious to see the fact that you guys had chosen to pick so many late scaling champions all in one team rather than spread the burden among everybody. Like you said, they wanted you to gank like a psycho because you're the Volibear, the only one capable of doing a lot in the early game. Was there talks about maybe perhaps one person gets the late game carry while the other one gets the early game, or what? Everyone wanted to be, you know, John Wick. What was going on?
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, we all play for the team on this team. None of us are like selfish ego players. This is why it works so well and why we were able to do a team with 3 scaling lanes and early game jungler, but definitely I think I don't want to say too much because like then teams would know like what
Yeah,
we're
of
talking about and
course.
looking into. But there's definitely a lane I hovered the most and made plays around the most. If you watch the game, you can probably figure that out.
Yeah, I think Anthony was a bit, supported. I was curious about that mid game, or sorry, that first early game gank. Was that just like Anthony screaming "come gank," or what happened? Because I swear you just walked in and like helped him shove, but then he didn't even back. Like, what was going on there?
What was first game? Sejuani?
No. This game, sorry, the
Oh,
most
this game,
recent game.
gotcha. Oh, that was so. Oh, we were just calling because he looked super obvious, like he was baiting for the Wukong, and we were like,
Mm.
well, he's just kind of overextended here. We'll see if we can just get him to waste mana, like to put the wave in a bad spot for him, and it kind of ended up working out. We found the Wukong, like, and then I'm just able to continue padding.
I was also curious. You said you didn't have main roster. Obviously, you had a substitute mid laner.
Hmm.
In the first game, right? You guys got your main
If
mid laner in. You got Anthony in like after the first game, but with that support, you guys had Hello Bear, right? Instead of Bots Maven, I think is how you would pronounce that.
correct, yeah.
It seemed pretty fine, right? Like you guys seem to mesh pretty well. Like, do you guys practice a lot with your support, or is it just like he just stepped up to the plate today?
He stepped up big time filling in for us, so we really, really appreciate him. He had a lot of good plays, solid comms. Like he slotted in really, really well. And I know him and Myers do duo a bit, so
Mm.
that was good for us because they were winning bot lane. Oh, maybe or I don't know. I don't want to say that without actually looking, but it felt like it was in game, especially the early games. But yeah, Hello Bear definitely stepped in big today. I think we'd probably win it in 3, even if we're all on equal footing, no ban losses. We have starting roster. I definitely think we would 3-0 with Bots Maven.
Fair enough. Well, I don't know if you have any more questions, Kets, but I think that's pretty much it from me.
No, I'm just happy to see that the junglers made a difference at all the times. You know what I'm saying?
Of
Totally
course, of
fine.
course. Yeah, Lucky Field, you popped off, man. It was good to see.
Oh,
Obviously, both
thanks,
junglers
guys.
had a couple of moments, like, but
Wukong
from
was scary, not gonna lie. He was just
yeah,
popping up.
you just
But
had to like ult out like 3 times, but it is what it is. Like, we're both jungle mains here too, so like we understand the difficulties. But yeah, well played today. Do you have any more shout outs or stuff you want to say to the people watching, maybe before we end stream for tonight?
yeah, I'm just glad our B tier team beat A S tier, whatever TWFF is,
Mm.
losing formula. But
Wow, toxic,
I'm sorry, there was a lot of chit chat.
brutal.
But no, definitely respect them. They're good players, and I hope we can play on equal footing next time. Thank you guys for casting and for having us. Appreciate it.
Well, it was definitely a pleasure. I'm sure Katz
Absolutely,
agrees. Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, I think that's it for us, guys. We don't want to keep too much of your guys' time. There were so many breaks and delays and whatever else today. I'm sure Luckified, sorry, can attest to the amount of times that they had to break. So you go party with your mates, dude. Have fun, enjoy your win, move on to the next stage of playoffs, and we are all going to go to sleep. Thank you guys so much for watching here in Risen Dominate Spring 2024 quarterfinals. We'll see you guys next time in the semifinals in a week's time.